should know. She's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac, I should know. She's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac on the floor. She's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac on the floor.
Yes, indeed. Good old Rotterdam Nation. Thank you very much. All right, we are live for the POGcast, particularly the D You get the G. What do you get? You get POGcast. Of course, Poggers in chat. Because Poggers in chat. Alright, we're gonna get things ready. Just make sure just some water. And today is the first stream of the new GPU under NVINC, which is fucking awesome. Have to get the alerts here. It also does blurps too, apparently. Looks like there's also you can do blurps on YouTube as well, like that we do on Twitch. Yeah, by the way, that song was from Ridge Racer. That was from the original Ridge Racer soundtrack. Love that game. Love Ridge Racer. Probably my first ever racing game I played since Pole Position from that Namco Museum series I used to do. Okay, let's see. Let's check out the podcast room. Let me just make sure things are working. We are working here, everybody. Beautiful. Alright, but anyways, welcome to the podcast. The old GPU got yeeted. I mean, to be fair, it's not the brightest GPU. I mean, it's probably one of the more basic. You can just still good for low budget PCs. Like, because my poor dumbass is I'm poor. Number two is the fact that I'm just you know, I'm not gonna get paying job because board games doesn't fucking turn exist. But okay. But yeah, it's basic. It's a good old basic, you know, 1050 Ti that I'm running with now, and yeah, I just said throw the shit out of the fucking stratosphere, and put it. Well, of course, I put it in the box, put all the packaging, put it in the box, and just yeet that motherfucker all the way across the fucking stratosphere. There we go. All right, let's get started. Did I promote it? I sure did. Number 2. Alright, where's that maniac Blaze? The other fucking Blaze I need to find. Where is he? He's probably sleeping again. You fucking dipshit. God damn it, man. Where's that piece of trash? Your boss is a hoe! Alright, welcome, Foxy, welcome. Okay. Okay. I don't have any room for the... God damn it, I don't have room for the podcast. Oh god, excuse me. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna just send to the podcast one anyway. Fuck it. Alright, let's do it. Alright. Also, that's one of my new mod sound effects I picked up. I just modded my Opera GX. Like, oh yeah, there's mods now. Fuck yeah. This Opera GX has one of those mods too. Let's jump right into it. Let's go to the podcast room. All right. We'll come back to this in a minute. I just want to give my. It's not the brightest because it's obviously just a still image. So just give us a minute. Once we get our friend here as a guest, because actually was joining us today for the podcast. And also, speaking of which, I'll be dueling. I'll be as a guest for the panel, but unfortunately, I don't have much time because this maniac, Rory Collins is gonna. I call him a maniac. Rory Collins, or Red Lion, pretty much. If you guys know, he was the voice of Yoshi in Super Mario Fables, on this channel. So those people watching. But yes, we're in the podcast. Welcome everybody. I had to fix a few things. I still just do a couple fixes here and there. I didn't get a chance to do much. I had to rebuild the podcast. I didn't get much time because the fucking cat has just been all over me today. I don't know what's going on. Daisy just didn't want to let me go today. She did not want to let me go. She was just being clingy, so that the cat was being clingy today. But at the same time, I love her. I love her to death. She's just so sweet. I love her. I love her so much. Daisy just the queen being a queen bee, and being super clingy. I'm just happy she didn't bit me. That's the good part. She didn't bit me though. That was no biting. Alright, let's see what to talk about today, because we have a lot of things to work on. Let me go ahead and get the book. Just thank you everybody for joining in. Those people just joining the podcast, yes indeed. AzureBlaze, as always, or Blaziken. apparently thick Blaziken. But let's get this started. So we got a lot of things to work with. I know some now. I'm sure people don't have the. Usually just be on Twitch as well too, but I moved over to the YouTube channel. Just like I did, just have more entertainment on Sundays because there's nothing to do on Sundays really. I'm sure there's plenty of different things to do, but of course I'm trying to make things more legitimate on here. So it also can see my Arcanine Emma, which I'm sure Arcanine is just like a very very happy Arcanine. All right, so today we're mostly gonna be talking. We'll have some Q&A. We'll probably do some Q&A stuff for March and February because we missed out a whole bunch of stuff. I also asked the Fights community if they can send us your questions, but I haven't got nothing. The community has not really been paying attention lately. I think a few people are either sleeping or just not been paying attention so far. All right, let's see. But in the meantime, hopefully you guys enjoy yourselves on this lovely Sunday. If not, for those people who want to tune in, or just want to tune in for listening, of course, you guys can just join us along, and we can have a nice little discussion. Most of you like a lot of random stuff today. I'll probably be open for questions, of course. So you guys can just go ahead and go in the chat. We'll probably answer from the Discord server, but apparently there's nothing, so I'll let the chat can go ahead and spam. But there's probably not much people on here right now, so. Might be a smaller podcast because there's nobody else here. I was expecting a lot of people. Then Blaze was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there at the podcast today," and I never got any message from him back. So he's gonna chill for a bit. So we'll probably bring him in a little bit. Also, we have a little bit. This is called the Ultimate Pokemon. Or top tier. Did I update this? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, never mind. Let me see. Sure, this did this already. Because I don't think they have anybody else here today. Yeah, it might just only be. Is this only me and Foxy today? Yeah, also made Foxy a mod too. So I made you a mod as well. So I don't know if people can see. Alright. But yeah, we're gonna get things ready to get today. I'm sure we'll see Blaze a little bit later in a second. Maybe some more in the podcast. But in the meantime, I should turn this off. Since I have like 3 monitors now, I'll probably just watch from this side to see what the chat has to bring. So I keep my eyes on the chat if necessary. So we have the Ultimate Pokemon list, and we're also going to compare. This is probably something that Blaze sent me to do this, but I'm like, alright, I'm here, then where the hell is he? I'm actually going to give him a call later. Or actually give him a call and see what I can find. But there is a podcast section. They apparently made it like a podcast section. You can just post stuff or whatever. So it's interesting enough too. Yeah, Matt is a hoe. Matt is certainly a hoe for sure. So yeah, pretty much I also made some of the mods here, so they'll also be joining in for today. Because apparently we also got a few things to talk about, but we'll leave some questions for March and February. I'll leave a reminder. I let the memo earlier, but no one really cared. So let me just check it out. I'm gonna spread one more reminder that we're all live, and we gotta send some questions. And did it right away, actually. Much easier. Let's Jack can just go ahead and just show some questions up for a second though. We'll start with the Q&A stuff. Then we'll start off with I'll probably pick my list as well, but Blaze said you can just, we can go together, but we can just, but I'm waiting for him though, because I haven't seen him yet. And plus, I also had lunch earlier, so I'm just a little. I was this close to passing out. I was like, oh God, please. All right, let's see. It's just February. My big ass fingers too. It's like I can barely type. Yeah, one more reminder. Alright, second memo. Or not Momo. Not match. Not doing Mugen today. Tomorrow will probably be a live stream from Mugen though. That'd be great, but see if people really either. Alright. Send some questions. Alright. Okay, cool. I'll leave the question marks here, so we're done. Let's see the chat can respond, or in the community in the FTC, the Fighter community members will respond. I don't know if it is, but people are probably not going to pay attention. Is not. But we'll see. We will see how today unfolds. But we'll probably get to it. Let me give Blaze a call real quick. Let's see. Blaze, he's nuts. I'm sure Blaze is probably either sleeping or probably hanging on family. I know he was on his phone, but he probably forgot. Let me just give him a call, see how it goes. We'll probably start off this, because I don't have much time though. I'm ready to go, but let's see. Supposed to do this fucking little ultimate pair. I want to start like a copy, so like start a fresh round myself. See which ones I will be my favorites for Pokemon stuff. Really, they'll probably do some testing in the games and stuff. Because he wants to try Kingdom Hearts 3 on his end, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. Yeah, he's either falling asleep or with family right now. Because I'm basically wasting my time right now. He dragged me into this, but I'm like, alright, I might as well make one of my own. Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. Fuck. Never mind. Fuck. I'll have to start without him. Screw it. Yeah, Blaze. Fuck you. I'm starting without you. Now I gave him like, what, 3 memos, but he just said nope. He's gonna fall asleep like a fucking Snorlax in his coffin. Jeez. Alright, never mind. But yeah, this is indeed the good old Ultimate Pokemon. We'll just do it right now because I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. And I'll just get out of the way because this might be a shorter podcast because I'm supposed to be doing this with him, with Blaze, but he's not even here. Of course he is. Of course he isn't. Because that ruins everything. Alright. I'll probably show Blaze my list of all the things. Plus, there's also some stuff here that I need to, we'll probably get to. Favorite Spinda. That's like this. Okay. I was gonna rate him. I don't even care about Spinda so much. Not as much, but favorite Alcremie. So mostly a lot of forms here. So this is what they also have a team too with the Shiny Charm. That'd be interesting too. So that'll be coming up as well. All right. No problem. That'd be interesting enough. We can do something like that. So this is, but mostly we're going to discuss, these are the favorites we can also pick from Gens 1 through 9, and we'll also pick our top overall favorite list here. We're not for like, I guess we can say for like Gens 1 through, let's say, up to like Gen 6, because, well, up to Gen 5, where fairy types still didn't existed. Because remember, Gen 1 never had fairy types, except for like Clefairy, which was normal type back then. So, like, Gen 2 and 3, and, because remember, Gen 2, you do Steel and Dark types, so there's no Dark type Pokemon. That's why you count, like, Missing No or some Ghost type. Or a Ghost is a Dark type, but no. So, we're not going to include Dark, Steel, or Fairy right now. These are most the more basic ones we saw from the first generation. So, we'll start off Gen 1 with Charizard, Blastoise, so red, blue, yellow, and green. And then we go from our gimmick form, which you don't have to worry about gimmick form right now. I'm probably gonna pass on the gimmick forms because that never existed yet. Well, then we'll have our top tier favorites. So we have also got our favorite legendary. So it's mostly be my list. So I remember this is the team I had in Pokemon Blue, And I'll probably have to decide what all the mons I have. I guess even the Japanese Pokemon Green. Yes, I have the green. I actually have a physical copy of Japanese Green when it was in Japan, but I never understood Japanese. I was just like, all right, here's this move. Go with this move. Here's this move. Go with that. Hey, use Razor's Leaf, Bulbasaur. I know Japanese Squirtle Zenigame. That I remember. But I just saw Bulbasaur. Red was mostly Charizard, so we'll just mostly be one of my favorites here from in the top tier list. So, of course, Gen 3, you know me. Of course, that explains the Blaziken part in my goddamn name. Because people are like, oh yeah, I hope your his name after Pokemon. Yeah, what do you see Blaziken for? What the fuck? Why? How you explain Blaziken, guys? What? Hence on the name AzureBlaziken. Are people stupid? No, I'm joking. Alright, let's see. I just get triggered when I was like, why people gotta be like this stupid? Like, alright, don't wait. Yeah, I hope he has a name. I hope Azure has a name based on a Pokemon. Why would you? Does Blaziken not exist for you guys? Are you guys that fucking stupid? No, but yeah, let's get things started. I'm over here tired of shit, by the way. Of course, I'm not working, but I'm just like, I have much energy, but I'm basically gonna run out of gas here if I don't do anything. Make this quickly today. But there's also basically the mons from all the way from the other gens too, which I can guarantee Blaze is falling asleep. You fucking piece of shit. That's I'm just assuming that Blaze is already asleep because he's just like he's like oh dude, you took too long. Alright, let's start off with the first typing. We'll go with normal. We're gonna go into normal, so we'll go from normal to like maybe dragon, because remember Gen 1 never had dark, steel, or fairy. Gen 2 had steel and dark, then up to Gen 6 had fairy. We'll just go from there. So I had to skip Clefable, which Clefairy weren't part of my team as well for Pokemon Blue. So alright, let's begin, guys. Here we go. Gen 1's normal types, from Pidgey to Snorlax. Alright, so you guys will just mostly pick a list off the Pokemon, and plus you also can pick which one. Or of course you also have starter, we'll just include that too. Alright, let's start off with... Yeah, he said before, once you do, in case you stream or record or whatever, just make this list. I'm doing it and Blaze not even fucking here. He's probably asleep. He's probably asleep because he was fucking bored or whatever. That's why it took too long, whatever, to set things up, because he's an impatient fucker. Because he's very incompetent. Let me know if you guys can't see far away, so I could zoom in if you guys want. I had to zoom it out because I wanted to have more variety. So it says me shifting, the shifting back and forth. So, all right, let's start. Probably my first normal type I introduced in myself in Gen 1. So that's my favorite will be Eevee. I had the Wigglytuff on the brain, but of course I remember having Pidgeot. I hated Pidgeot, but I remember having Fearow. It would probably be like the duplicates, whatever. What would be my favorite normal type? I don't know. Like, honestly, Eevee is probably the best choice for me. Ditto would be interesting, but I'm not Duplica. So it's a nice friendship insulting each other's. Yeah, we both Blazes tend to insult each other. That's the thing. I like how Blaze went for our Dragon Ground type. His main is Gibble. He's a Garchomp main, so yeah. Blaze is also part of Dragon Ground. Apparently, the Blaze means flames and burning and fire. No, that's Dragon Ground. You dumbass. What a dumbass. Dumbass Blaze, I swear. He's a crazy guy. We love him though. Alright, we'll go with Eevee first. Honestly, normal type. Yeah, we'll go normal types. Alright, let's go to fire. 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 My element. And there's not much fire types of Gen. Well, to be fair, this is the beginning of Gen 1, so it wasn't much fire types. It had a little bit more. Because remember, I had the original 151 Pokemon, so of course, unless you want to count missing now, the legend itself. But I did start with all three stars before in Gen 1. I'll go with Charizard. I'm okay with Charizard, actually. You know what? I'm gonna go with Charizard. Fuck it. I do like the fact that you also could pick one if you don't want to. I have Arcanine list. You could do, as you probably saw earlier with Arcanine. I always love Emma. We go to Arcanine. Alright, Flareon sucks. Flareon Gen 1 sucked so bad. So, I'll see. I can probably go with Arcanine. Vulpix Ninetales, of course, that'll be Foxy's favorite. I can guarantee that'll be Ninetales of Vulpix will be Foxy's favorite, of course. And then again, Zora. We'll get to Gen 5 when we get there. So we'll just do Gen 1 first. But it did sort of Charmander in red. So, and blue. Red and blue are most of Charizard. But this is before. This is also just based on memory. Based on memory when I remember first started playing Gen 1. So it's all come back to me. It's all memory based. So it's interesting enough. Okay, yeah. Pardon me. Okay. Alright. Vulpix. Yeah, Charmander's smash. Yeah, Charmander's definitely Charizard's that shit is a smash. Yeah, it's a smash for me too. Sure. I'll go with Charizard for now. Vulpix, give me now. Oh well, if I can find a Vulpix somewhere in Canada, then maybe. Oh yeah, by the way, of course, thank you guys for the likes too. By the way, I appreciate it. Thank you all for the likes. If I can find a Vulpix in Canada or in Montreal, then yes, maybe. And somewhere in Quebec, they'll probably be like something like Pokemon Center out in Canada. Maybe. I have no idea. Alright, let's get to water now. Water. As my friends in Philly would say, water. Speaking of water. Okay, now we get to water. I did actually in blue, I remember this. It's kind of a tough choice between Vaporeon, Lapras. Kingler was fun. I actually enjoyed Kingler in Pokemon Blue. He was really fun. But I'm gonna go with Blastoise. So I remember starting with Squirtle. Actually, this is before I became like a fire type stan. He was my starter. So I remember I got Pokemon Blue first, then Red, then Yellow, then Green a few years later. So I remember I ordered from Japan. I still got the physical copy. I could probably showcase the physical copy of Green in Japan. I might have it, but I take my because this is me being a poor Blaziken having a fucking 3DS camera as my main camera. But yeah, Blastoise. Yeah, I know Blastoise will be. I know Vaporeon will be a big bet. Actually, people were voting for Vaporeon in the poll I did for the what's it called? In the Fighter community. I don't even know my own Discord server name. A lot of people actually are in the lead for Vaporeon right now. For Mandy. I love Mandy, but honestly, Vaporeon would be great. But I remember starting with Squirtle first when I first started playing Pokemon when I was younger. So that leads to Blastoise be my main in Pokemon Blue. Fire was indeed Charizard. That's because I started with Charizard. I remember playing Blue, and I also had to I went to go and restart Blue again, and I got myself a Blastoise from there. So I'll give you credit, Blastoise. If you're any Blastoise fans out there, I know you're gonna be cheering right now. So I'll give you a pass. Vaporeon, I'm sorry, but I had to go Blastoise. Don't worry, we still got a few other water types too. But then it doesn't count for all the other mons you can get. It's only for those for that generation. So I only had to pick one. I can't pick like multiple. That would suck. But it sucks. That's probably the worst. You can't pick multiple mons different generations too. Like say if you want to have Bulbasaur in Gen 2, you can't do that. So I know it sucks. All right, grass type. Then for grass, it's grass dude. Then we have grass dude's favorites. All right, I remember using Bulbasaur in green. But I'm actually gonna pass Bulbasaur on that one. Actually, I remember using Victory Bell. This is all memory based. I remember I had a Vileplume planned. I was thinking about Vileplume when I first, but I only had it in blue. Remember, because remember Oddish and Bellsprout were indeed like the first exclusive mons. So I only get one or the other. So I remember I had blue first. So I had to get Bellsprout. So that's why I mostly remember Bellsprout and Victory Bell. So yes, go with number 4 with Victory Bell, because I had poison oak and ivy, and poison oak was a beast in he was a massive beast in Exegil Darkness actually. And I had Glalie, Umbreon on my team. I remember that team so well. So we'll probably have Exegol Coliseum mons as well here for Gen 3. Because that was technically in Generation 3 territory. That's how I grew up, really. Alright, electric. There's not much... But we're also not going to count Magnemite or Magneton as steel, because we're not going to count steel types. Because remember, Gen 1 never existed. Steel types never existed in Gen 1. Dark Steel Fairy never existed in Gen 1. So I don't count them. Plus, there's also of course be either Raichu or Pikachu. I know a lot of Pikachu fans are gonna kick my ass. But I remember having Electrode. Electrode was actually pretty. Electrode was one of the fastest Pokemon in Gen 1. You also got Alakazam and Mewtwo. On that debate, who would be the fastest mon in Gen 1? So I'd say maybe I'll definitely go with Electrode. For like one of the fastest ones. I remember having it because Electro tends to explode. It always explodes. You self-destruct the explosion. But I remember having Muck with explosion. It was so funny. I just started dying of laughter. I was facing Lance, and I had Muck was my last mon. I remember, and just like he just exploded. Muck exploded, goddamn exploded, and then took out Dragonite, and then it was a draw. Because the tie goes to apparently Elite Four. I had no mons left, so and plus I beat him without. So it was really funny. Probably the most memory I remember playing Pokemon. Was the fact that fucking Muck exploded. It was like, you know what, fuck it, and just rage quits. Oh man, it was really funny. I'll probably put him as my favorite poison type just for that memory alone. Because I have Venomoth as well. We'll get to poison types in a minute. But yeah, I'm going with Electrode. Excuse me. Alright, Ice. Not much Ice types in Gen 1. There really isn't. Yeah, also I'm like tired, and also I'm still like recovering from being sick, so pardon me. Alright, Ice will be either Jinx or Dugong. Dugong's part water ice. Same with Cloyster, same with Lapras. There's not much ice types on here. Yeah, I knew I knew someone would say that. I knew someone be you know. Thank you. Because remember, Warrior World was full of sneezes. No one really cared about that stream. Alright, let's go with the psychic, you know, jiggle physics herself, Jinx. Is that, you can remember, there's not much ice types in Gen 1, so there's only 5. I could have went Articuno, but remember, you also got a favorite, like, legendary, you can pull. So I definitely go with Jinx. Lapras would have been great too, but also, I was like, I could probably go with Lapras, but you know what? Should I really go with Jinx or Lapras over Jinx then? You know what? Fuck it. I'd rather have Lapras and Jinx anyway. I don't want to be getting hit. I don't want to be kissed by hit with a lovely kiss and going to sleep straight to bed. I don't want to see Jinx lips on anywhere around me. So I'd rather have Lapras cuddles than Jinx cuddles. Sorry, Jinx fans. Sorry. All right, fighting types. Moving on to fighting now. Either Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. I like Primate though. Remember having Primate a few times when I faced Brock, so that's one only time I did use Mankey because it was a fighting types are strong against rock types, so they can break rocks. Either Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan. Machamp is pretty fun too. Especially who doesn't want to have a Pokemon with 4 arms? It's probably one of my favorite powers. I'll be Goro from Mortal Kombat. Maybe. But I'm going to go with Hitmon. I actually like the kicking fiend and the punching fiend, punching fiend, whatever. What was it called? What was the name in the anime? The punchy Pokemon. Yeah, punchy Pokemon versus the kicking fiend. So I'm gonna go with the kicking fiend, Hitmonlee. It's all memory based. I remember Hitmonlee more than Hitmonchan. So I think I had Hitmonlee a lot, and I would keep evolving my Tyros into Hitmonlees. Maybe it's just like because he's more defensively than offensively. I guess for like fighting. All right, poison. There's a lot of poison types. So I remember I said about Muck with explosion. You can't learn explosion on a Muck. It's possible. I'm not gonna count Gengar or any of the ghost types as poison. So I'm gonna. Well, we'll say excuse me. Pardon me. Fucking sneeze. There's gonna be a sneeze-a-thon coming up here. Give me a second, everybody. Fucking sneezing like crazy again. Fuck. God. See, I told you I'm still recovering from being sick. This is not a good idea because Blaze is already plus Blaze is not even here. We got a long way to go anyway. But alright, let's get back to this. Sorry. Oh god, and my head started fucking my head is spinning right now. That's why I'm like, I really want to stream. I really don't want to. I'm over here being. I feel like I got concussed for a reason. So I feel like a mule just kicked me in the back of the head. It's like some wrestler hit me that did like a mule kick on me, and that was it. That's what happened. All right, I'm gonna go with either Venomoth or Muck, just so I can just speed up here because I'm just sick and tired of sneezing. All right, because I remember in my in blue I had Venomoth on my team, but Muck's explosion was hilariously funny. So sorry, Venomoth. Plus, we have bug types because remember Venonat and Venomoth are both bug types. So definitely go with Muck. But let's say minimize Muck is pretty damn interesting. There's a minimize spam. It's been a while since I used. Because I know there's also like a Alolan version of Muck, so it'll be interesting because I think it's like dark poison, which is interesting. All right, ground types. I don't remember much. I remember having like I never evolved my or did I? I don't think I had a golem before, so I guess I did. That didn't work. But out of all the ones I want to use, I've used Marowak before. But I remember Nidoqueen, Nidoking were so much fun. I know I have to go. Probably have to go with my gut. I remember having Nidoking, but I remember having Marowak when I first. So I wanted to get a Marowak on my team. So I had Clefable, Blastoise, Venomoth. I think I had Kingler before. I had no fire types on my team, by the way. This is me when I was a kid. I didn't know better. This was before fire. I guess water was my element first, then I went to fire instead. Water type community. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, so definitely going to be poison. Poison. It was poison bug. Then it led to water. Then it was normal. I guess technically fairy at this point. I don't think I have any evolution mons too. I don't think so. I remember having Marowak before, but it's just like I was like, which version did I have him in? All right, I'm gonna go Marowak because I have no. I honestly, I want to. I know that they're thinking about Nidoking. Nidoqueen would have been a better bet for you, but true, I would have got a chance to get both. But Marowak, I remember Marowak more than Nidoqueen, Nidoking. But they were like later on when I played Fire and Leaf Green. They're probably more valuable than the original Gen, like the original Gen 1, not the remakes. Okay, for flying types, there's a lot of flying types on here. I'm gonna go. I know people will say Pidgeot's about the best or Farfetch, but Farfetch was kind of ass in Gen 1. I mean, they have Quacklin. He didn't really do much at all. But I had something even better, like Crobat was probably a lot better than Farfetch was. So now it gets flying types. Also, you can do this challenge too if you guys want to as well. Definitely recommend it. Alright, as I remember, Big Beak was another one too. So I had Big Beak, which was a Fearow. Honestly, Fearow was a lot better because he had a better moveset than freaking Pidgeot. Because Pidgeot didn't have like a flying move. Because Gust was a normal move. Yeah, Gust, like a powerful gust of wind. A gale force of wind is basically a normal type move, which makes no sense. A tornado is air, flying, wind, but no, because Gen 1's like just the Pokemon company is like, nope, we're gonna make this normal type. It's so stupid. Pidgeot would have been a lot better if he had Gust. That's like a flying type move, really. So yeah, I'm definitely going Fearow. That would definitely be a Fearow. I would say Fearow would be a lot better. Fearow's better than Pidgeot. Don't at me. But yes, Fearow it had a better move set. Like Drill Peck, freaking Peck was a flying move, not Gust. Apparently Gust was a normal type move back then. Thank God they changed it Gen 2. Alright, now for the Psychic type community. The PTC. I remember Kadabra and Alakazam were like the fastest mons. You also got Mew and Mewtwo. They were really... Jinx would have been another good guess for me. Hypno, I haven't really tried much Hypno. Hypno would have been interesting. It's pretty tanky. Hypno is a tanky mon. It's interesting. It's interesting like sexual attack, really. But I remember like definitely from the back of my head, I remember Alakazam being so fucking fast because Houdin. Because Alakazam or Kadabra or Alakazam were so fast in Gen 1. And they were broken. Like, Mewtwo was broken, but it also got Alakazam, who's another guy who's one of the fastest mons in Gen 1. But his defenses were just trash in Gen 1. Alakazam's like physical defenses are pretty crappy anyway. It's crap. Alright, I'm gonna go with Venomoth for Bug. That's easy. I also had Scyther. Or I remember the anime stared at me like, you don't even. It is creepy. Like Hypno fucking creeps me out. Hypno, I agree. He creeps me out. I remember the anime. He was like, super creepy. I'm like, don't stare at me with those big ass bug eyes. Fuck you. I'm going Venomoth for Bug. That's easy. Now for rock types, I'll go with Onyx. I could put over Onyx, but I think Aerodactyl is probably the more fun. So I'd say I could definitely give him like the rock type attacks. Flying I also have flying for Aerodactyl. Could maybe Aerodactyl. I remember having Aerodactyl and I used it before, but it was probably too late because we were in Cinnabar Island and you're about to be this close to beating the game, whatever. So it would have been great, but no. Unfortunately, no. So it's definitely a pass for me. Alright, only ghost sets will be yeah, only ghost sets in the game. And that's why I kept that ghost that always before the silk scope happened. So unfortunately now. And there's the dragon types will be Dragonite. Oh, I remember there's no. I like how there is like dark types in here. You like actually can fight the fossils and stuff too. That's hilarious. So we can't. It's just technically they're not dark. No, we're not gonna include that. So yeah, we're just gonna skip through Steel and Dark and Fairy. Our starter type was indeed our. Well, depending which version I had. Or Pikachu or Eevee. I just had the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. That's for Let's Go Eevee standards. So. Definitely what I remember first starting out when I first played. I did play Squirtle, so yeah, Squirtle was my starter in Gen 1. Gimmick forms not gonna count. These are all the gimmick forms they had. You can wait until like maybe like Gen 6. But yeah, we'll probably come back to this maybe, but that won't be till later. So, and then we have our legendary forms here. We have a legendary. We also pick our favorite out of all the mons. So. Let's change this here real quick, and then. Alright, beautiful. Okay. Alright, let's go with Mewtwo for our legendary. Because I honestly, Mewtwo's probably my favorite one I used. I remember catching with the Master Ball, just easy. Literally, you would go with the Mew, glitch, you could do that. So I probably remember how to do it. So then I'm also going to pick our favorite. So, who'll be on my favorite? Who's the MVP? I had Clefable, but unfortunately Clefable's not in this one because I had her. She had Mega Punch, she had Metronome, and Minimize. She was pretty damn broken. She had the Bloom. She was just amazing for my team. But I remember like I was obviously going with the one I chose with. For my MVP for Gen 1 is. So we also had to pick our favorite, like our top tier favorite in Gen. Who's the one that carried the load in Gen 1 for me? I didn't have Dragonite before, so that's out of the question. Gengar, I wouldn't again. If I had traded Mons, that'd be great. I could trade with somebody, but then again, I had a few friends in grade school, but then no, I don't think anybody had like a Game Boy Advance or whatever. They probably had at my generation, but you know, they're probably far away. I can't trade with them. Unfortunately, I had a few trades before. It was great. It was awesome. I remember getting a Pikachu, and also getting like Oddish or whatever too. So at least I need the exclusive mods from them too. So I'm gonna definitely go with my gut. Who really carried the? I honestly Blastoise was the one who really carried the in Gen 1. I like Charizard, but for fire types, I had more blue than red. So yeah, blue was my color, and then red, to be honest, or yellow. There we go. I think that's actually legitimate. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's probably a fair choice. I started with Squirtle and ended up with my starter. It began with my starter, ended with my starter, which is perfect. So, I wish I would honestly. Well, let's see if we pour in here, but I'm like no. But she's in the lead in the poll. I hosted, so hope you guys enjoyed that poll. Should be able to see that happening. Alright, there we go. There is your top picks for Gen 1. Alright. Now for Generation 2. Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. Now we get to the fun part. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further, so. Alright, this will be a little bit better. Yeah, I like it though. I hope you guys like it too. This is all basically memories I remember Gen 1 and the copies I had. So I remember playing Crystal. That was my first. I remember getting Gold. I got Silver before, and I played Silver first, then Gold and Crystal. So we're gonna go from from the old memories from Generation 2. I guess Heart Gold Silver will be also my choices too, because I remember having all the choices were listed as my generations, whatever. All right. Let's move on to the next. Now we move on to Generation 2 normal types. Alright. So you either got Sentret, Furret, not Hoo-Hoo, not Tao, Igglybuff, the pre-evolution of Jigglypuff, Apom, Girafarig, Dunsparce. Now Dunsparce has an evolution. Teddiursa, Ursaring, Porygon 2, Stantler, Smeargle, Miltank, and then we have Blissey. Who's my normal type I used back then? And I haven't used Miltank as much, but I want to use Miltank. Honestly, like, I remember Whitney's Miltank was so fucking broken. It was just awful. And my friend was really pissed off too when I played him played with him online, and he was pissed. Because I think Miltank almost knocked out Rayquaza. It was funny as hell, but it was close. But I think Rayquaza got rid of her anyway. But shout out to Lita, my Miltank. But definitely, obviously, going with that choice. She's my favorite normal type in Gen 2. Lita's been my best Miltank so far. She's been pretty fun so far. I like the gimmick of just having her as a farmer girl and just going to town using Earthquake, and I think she had like rock moves too. She had Milk Drink, I believe, and Attract. It was so friggin' funny. I just started dying. Almost basically knocked out Rayquaza. It's a noble effort, but she knocked out she knocked out what, like 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 6 members of my friend's team. And Lita almost like Lita just stole the show. That's where the gimmick began and captured my heart. So it's a good fond memory of just Lita just beat the shit out of like four Pokemon members of his team. God, oh man, I loved it. It was great. That was so much fun. So I definitely go with I definitely need some Miltank milkers for sure. After a nice battle, I need some of the Miltank's fresh milk. Alright, now for fire types. There actually was a few of them. There wasn't much, again, in Gen 2. Because, I guess. Alright. I did start with Cyndaquil. That I remember choosing from in Silver. And in Soul, I believe with Soul Silver, I remember using Typhlosion in my team. So, plus, I have a better chance to use it. I don't think I'd use Entei on a team or Ho-Oh. That won't make any sense. But yeah, I'm going to go with Typhlosion as my fire starter. He was that's what the beginning of the game, like, oh, I actually like fire types, though. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, so I had Typhlosion in Soul Silver. I forgot, what was his name? I don't remember his name. I don't probably remember it. I remember Cole, but that was like Glaceon. We'll get to that soon. Alright, we got a lot of water types here. Plus also the debut of Slowking and Politoed. Good old Quagsire and Wooper was so much fun. Suicune, of course, will be a really good choice. So, yeah, of course, Miltank will be the fan favorite. I'm guessing you choose Miltank as well too. I go Typhlosion on my end because he was definitely the one I also remember the Arceus series, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I did start with Typhlosion as well, so makes everything else better. All right, for Gem, I remember starting Totodile in Heart Gold. I actually had Chikorita, but I know Chikorita was like the worst pain for any people. It's like, why would you choose Chikorita over Totodile or Cyndaquil? Because I wanted more of a bigger challenge. So I can totally think of other mons too I can use, like Geodude or other you can like trade Onix for a Bellsprout, or you can get like a Bellsprout, trade Bellsprout for an Onix, which would be helpful for that first gym. So I don't have to worry about using Chikorita as much. But I remember in our Heart Gold Soul Silver, because they buffed up a lot of stuff in Gen 4 technically with the whole Heart Gold Soul Silver copies. So I'd say maybe a chance. But I remember using Politoed. But I haven't used it since Crystal. I remember using Crystal because remember the Let's Play I did for Crystal. Long live Mizu, which is my favorite. So I also love Azumarill. I don't think I saw any Marils as much when I played the stream for Crystal. It's been a while ago. It's up, but there should be a finale somewhere on my Twitch. Which, by the way, my Twitch is of course on the top of your screen, so you guys can go ahead and follow. We're almost at 350 followers, by the way. Shout out to all the people who follow over there. Just like I believe it was last few days ago, and I believe last night got a few new followers too, which is awesome. Alright, I'm gonna go with Politoed. Sorry, anyone who's a Suicune, Kingdra, or for Alligator fan or Azumarill. I love Azumarill. Part of my name is in there, which Azumarill. So there you go. If you don't say what fairy type existed in Gen 2, I would pick Azumarill as my fairy type. Because remember, Marill and Azumarill became fairy types in Gen 6. So I was like, I remember Long Live Politoed, because I remember Mizu, but she was just fantastic as my water starter. As long as I want to have like something new, and Politoed was indeed awesome. She's already like a meme, of course, now in my team. Alright, now for grass types. I love you, Blossom. I love Blossom. She was so sweet and so cute. I remember having Sunshine in that was her name, Sunshine in the tournament. I was in Hawaii for the tournament in 2009. And I was one of the contestants there, and Blossom definitely was my MVP for sure for them. Well, for like a few reasons, but it's been now it's like what Gen 9, and pretty much everyone else doesn't really. All my members on my team had to, what I used for the tournament have to be changed or buffed up a little bit, so it might take a while. I love you, Blossom. I love you, Sunshine, but Chikorita. I gotta go Chikorita. Because I remember Mr. Dungy had Cassie. Because I remember Mr. Dungy had Chikorita, and I believe I had Pikachu, Chikorita, or like Charmander or Chikorita. One of the ones I did for Mr. Dungeon, and it led to Charmander and Chikorita. So there you go. Because good old Cassie. Alright, and now we get to electric types. Easily, just Ampharos. Easily Ampharos. Good old Ampharos. You always want. It's always a good like physical electric type. Pretty tanky electric type. Pretty thick Amphy. Always love Ampharos. Just so sweet. Alright, because I remember having all the team all the time. Like Mareep is always a good electric type to have in the beginning of the game. Can help you out. Chikorita is the worst starter, but it's also based on it is the worst starter. Chikorita is the worst because especially the two gyms you have to fight. It's crap, but I love a challenge. I did remember starting with Chikorita before, and I won the challenge. I won that challenge. So yeah, I love Blossom too, but Chikorita's a better bet. So I remember using Blossom Gen 4 and as part of the tournament, so it didn't really exist yet. I want to focus on like the new generation then, or like the ones I really have enjoyed in other different games. Like Mystery Dungeon was another one too. Like I said, I had Chikorita and Charmander on the team, and it was so much fun. You'd smash Wait, I want to go back to the chat. You said you smashed Charmander? Really? A little Charmander, huh? Wow. I think you're referring to Charizard, but okay. Jesus. Alright. Nothing with ice types. It's kind of like it's not really. I mean, you also got Smoochum, the introduction to Smoochum, the baby Jinx. This is like Jinx when she was younger. Delibird only has presence as an attack. But Chikorita is one of the worst starters also when we get to Gen 6, Chespin was one of the worst grass starters. If you're talking about like grass type starters, Chespin is the worst. But Chespin's the worst. Fuck Chespin. It's a piece of shit. Honestly, it is one of my least favorite Pokemon for sure. Alright, let's go with Sneasel. Sorry. Piloswine, you don't no Mamoswine for you. I can't. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sneasel out of the lot. So nothing for fighting types for Gen 2. Only Hitmontop and Tyrogue and Heracross. There's also a few bug types. Okay, maybe not. I actually I'm gonna practice this by the way. I did choose Heracross. I'm gonna stick with the Bandit. Good old Bandit. He was dead right now. There we go. What the hell's going on? Okay, there we go. Are we still here, chat? Are we still here? Okay. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know about this. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. I want the stream to crash again like last time. Okay, we're here. Okay, good. Alright, let's continue with poison. Again, not much poison types on the board. I'm gonna definitely go with Crobat over. I'm gonna go with Crobat for sure. Yeah, I think it's also a few buffer issues. Should be okay now. Also, I'd also raise the bitrate a little bit higher, just a little bit higher. All right. Oh, easily ground types. Oh yeah, Donphan, no doubt. Donphan is my guy. Of course, I had Penelope and Crystal's all part of my team as well. So, but I basically probably get my Crystal team back. It would be nice to have that again. Only I think did I have grass up my team before? Go back. I don't think I did. Oh my bad. Sorry. All right. I guess we get to flying now. I definitely enjoyed Noctowl on my team. That's why I was like I want to save Noctowl for later. I also had Togetic, but there's no Togekiss because that's Gen 4 territory. But I remember Billy Mays. I think it was like the MVP of my team. Or no, was it Billy Mays? It was probably it was Typhlosion. It was Typhlosion or AK or Mount Corona. Because there's a mountain called or if like drink the beer, drink the alcohol drink is my Corona. So there you go. He tends to explode or whatever. All right, I guess for flying types, I love Murkrow. Murkrow is so much fun, but there's no Honchkrow, which is kind of a sad thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hooters, which I named my Noctowl Hooters. So I'm basically gonna have like the team I use in Gen 2. Politoed, Typhlosion, Donphan. I had Togetic as well, but again, it would have been nice to see if I had Fairy types exist in Gen 2. Alright, besides all the letter unknowns, don't want to go Lugia, Celebi, there's Wobbuffet, Girafarig, Smoochum's still available. Slowking was fun. I remember having Tater was my Slowking I used in a different game, but Tater wasn't the MVP in my Ultra Sun team that I had. Or my PUST. Yeah, Pokemon Ultra Sun team. PUST. That's how the acronym it was for that series. Pokemon Ultra Sun team, just PUST. All right, I'm gonna go with Espeon. What did I use for like psychic tests? I think I had Lugia or Celebi was my choices, but I had Slowking actually. Or for Espeon, I'm gonna go with Espeon for sure. Hey, there he is. Yo, so I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome aboard. Yeah, the stream kind of cut off, and then of course me sneezing like a maniac. You missed that. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Welcome. We're just doing the ultimate favorite Pokemon picker because apparently my friend was supposed to be fucking here, but he's asleep. Because God forbid, he needs sleep anyway. Apparently, we'll hang out tomorrow then. Tomorrow's today, son. Piece of. Yeah, we're also picking our favorite Pokemon. These are the ones. These are the ones I also. Just basically, we have to pick a mon. We like to choose our favorite. Only pick one of them out of all the lot from each generation. So say if I had let's say a fire type, I chose a Typhlosion over all the other one too. Yeah, actually, that's what we named him, Snorlax. That's exactly it. It's exactly Snorlax. You were definitely on the nose on that one. But his main is Garchomp for Blaze. Because there's two different Blazes, me and the other Blaze. Because the only difference is that I'm American, he's Mexican. That's the difference. That's the difference. No, but one of them says the N word than I do. So I always say is Ninja Nintendo. And or Nicolas Cage. There we go. But it's still, so say if I use Typhlosion, whatever. As far as I have to pick one of the one out of all the 10, let's say. I have to choose one. I could just cancel it out too, but it's just say no, we don't want to use that one. So anyone would like to just pick which one your favorite as a typing. For any out of all the mons, you can choose only one per type. So just pick your top 3 though, I guess. So we did one for Gen 1. These are all the members I had for Generation 1 that I kind of used, but also they were my top favorites. And Gen 1 was kind of awful. Like, it was kind of bad because of, it's the beginning of Pokemon, obviously. It's red, blue, and yellow, and green. Because I actually have a physical copy of Generation Green when I was a little bit older, and I also picked up a physical copy of it when I saw it in the video game store. I was like, yeah, I need to get this for sure. But it was worth every penny to see how to experiment Pokemon Green in Japan. So it was pretty interesting to see that. So, especially, it was my very first Japan imported game. But it was awesome, though. I definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely worth something. But yeah, Blaze is sleeping right now. But he is a Garchomp main, apparently. We'll probably see him a little bit later on, I guess. Alright, let's go to Bug now. Now we get to Bug types. It's either a big battle between it's a battle between Heracross, which I already have Heracross already, for fighting. But Heracross is part Bug in fighting. Scizor or Shuckle would have been great too, but I'll put him in Rock. Spoiler, I'm gonna put him in Rock types anyway. Ariado's been fun. Like Sticky Web and Spiderweb are pretty fun. So now we can lower speed and lower, they can escape, because Sticky Web can escape, and then Spiderweb also lowers their speed, which is nice. If I can, well, I also have to go. So we gotta be going to doing Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I guess I'm going solo here. How am I gonna be doing? When we going live? I really don't know. I'm gonna say within 3 to 4 hours tonight. This might be a longer podcast, but this is a long list of Pokemon. This is up to Generation 9, so we're gonna be here for a little while until we can figure things out with the Blaze situation. Because this fool. That fool is somewhere sleeping, like a Snorlax. He's probably in his coffin. He's in his coffin, dead as shit. Damn. That's what we call super tough, right there. But yeah, I'll probably be on maybe the next 4 hours maybe. It depends. This podcast would have been over with anyway. At maybe an hour or 2. But as far as this concerned, we're just try to have some fun today. Just try to think of some more activities we can do while we're just doing the podcast here today. But this is a cool little activity we can do, so this will be fun. A little experiment we can actually test with everything else here. I'm gonna go with Fortress actually. So there's Fortress, a story with Fortress. I love the defense. He's a wall. Fortress is a tanky wall. It's very tanky. And I mean, it's just the fact that it's physical defenses, but it also can explode at the same time. But I really enjoyed Fortress a lot, and it was definitely a lot of fun to have Fortress be that tanky. I can understand why Brock used Fortress a lot. It definitely can be interesting, so she can tank a lot of hits. Protect is just obvious defense. You got Iron Defense maybe Spike's Rapid Spin can be helpful. So I'm actually nice that you should list down a few attacks for Fortress, a Fortress competitive Fortress run. That'd be pretty interesting. Especially it's pretty tanky. It's also you'll probably get a Quick Claw or something that can go first, whatever. But I already have prioritized for Protect, which is interesting, which is priority. All right, Rock types. I'm gonna go with Shuckle. Spoiler alert, because you thought this wall was tanky. This wall, Shuckle is a physical god. Goddamn physical god. Jeez, man. We hope you're doing well, Axel. Welcome aboard. I know it's just been taking the piss because I'm just I got here late too because I'm just trying to, see how things are going. I'm trying to test things out. Hope you're doing well, man. Hopefully your birthday went well. By the way, hopefully your birthday went flippin' faboo. But anyway, Shuckle's a wall. This another crazy wall. Defense is always your best offense. Is an absolute god of defense. So one of the best defenders in Gen 2. So I'll definitely give that. He'd probably be a run for the MVP spot, in my opinion. Most valuable Pokemon. That's the MVP stands for. All right, Ghost type. Obviously, there's only one Ghost. Yeah, Mischievous is my favorite, of course. I love Mischievous for sure. And remember Gen 2 introduced Dark and Steel types too, so we'll be able to actually showcase what they can do. I'm not going to go with Kingdra, but I'm going to have to go with Kingdra anyway. It's my favorite dragon type. I'm going to have to anyway, at this point. Mischievous, there's not much dragon or ghost types. Only Steel or Magnemite when introduced also Magneton, but I didn't include them yet. We also have Fortresses as part Steel. Either Steelix, Skarmory, or Scizor. I wasn't into Steelix, but remember the episode of like where Pokemon? I don't know if friends were talking about Pokemon in school before, and we were talking about Steelix every time. I know Steelix can have Flamethrower, which is interesting. It actually can learn Flamethrower, which I was like, what? That's actually it's freaky. It's freaky. This thing's a freak. I know Viper can learn Flamethrower as well too, which is insane. Like, I guess that also makes sense with the Orochimaru, like snakes and like Orochimaru can learn fire style jutsu attacks too. So that makes sense actually. Now I think about it, like Viper and Orochimaru, like one thing in common, they both have fire attacks, which is interesting. All right, let's get to. I want to say Scizor for me. Bullet Punch is fun later on in Gen 4, so I'm gonna go with Scizor. Oh yeah, I forgot about Dark types. My bad. Umbreon, oh man, either Umbreon, Tyranitar, or Houndoom. This one's a tough one. This might be a tough one in my opinion. Oh man, I don't know. Umbreon, I love Umbreon. I also have Umbreon plushie like on my TV right there. I could just I can just see it right now. I was naming my Umbreon Ephraim. I love Eve. It's my favorite guy. My guy, but then you got Houndoom as part Fire, Dark Fire. I love Houndoom, such a badass Pokemon. I remember using it in the comic, using it in Black 2 and White 2. Tyranitar is pretty good. It's pretty damn menacing. Tyranitar is so much fun to have, especially that they also have Sandstream, can bulk up a Sandstorm. He's so tough. Yeah, Umbreon. Oh man, Umbreon is tanky. Out of all the evolutions, Umbreon is indeed like the physical wall of evolutions. Though, Umbreon is just like defensively, just bulky, just absolutely bulky. But then you get Houndoom is a good fire type, and plus there's a lot of good dark types. This is about the beginning of dark types, and of course the Karen, which is also the Elite Four member who had dark types on the team. But it's so tough, man. Murkrow is fun though too, but it's either gonna. I'll have to play like eliminate one of the three. I want to go with Houndoom, but I have to eliminate Houndoom actually. I'm gonna have to. I don't think I got a choice. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go with either Tyranitar or freaking Umbreon. It's a tough choice. But but Umbreon was my sidekick for sure. Yeah. Sorry, Tyranitar. It would have been nice to have a rock type, but honestly, like freaking Shuckles' this defensive wall. It's so freaking disgusting as a defensive wall. Yeah, I have to go with Umbreon. Gotta go with my boy Ephraim. Although he was part of my Ultra Sun team for a while too. He was definitely a part of my Pust team. Umbreon was one of them, so there you have it. I also have a sweater of Umbreon too, so of course I have to go with my guy. No fairy types yet. That's until Gen 6. And my starter was indeed Cyndaquil, of course. Also, gimmick forms, that doesn't count because that's Mega Evolution for Gen 6. And Fair Legendary would definitely, Fair Legendary out of all the 6 is probably have to go with Suicune. Because he was definitely probably the better designed, and I love Entei as well, but I'm gonna have to go Suicune. So just he's just he's more swift and graceful. His animation was pretty graceful. We didn't see Raikou until maybe the Pokemon specials. I'm gonna eliminate him. Entei we probably saw in the third movie of Pokemon, so he was only in the third movie. He was mostly just non-canon, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, definitely go with Suicune. Crystal was so much better, honestly, than the other two because he had animations there. So Gen 2 definitely was going to be Suicune for sure. Alright, then we have our favorites. For just who's going to be an MVP or most valuable for Gen 2. I honestly, Politoed was so much fun. I remember who was the... Oh no, it was Typhlosion, by the way. So we might go out, actually might go 2 for 2 out of the starters here. That way became the MVP. I had Little Miss, of course. They had 2 good walls on the spot. I want to start with Cyndaquil as my starter Pokemon. But it really evolved to a Typhlosion at the time. Mizu was so much fun. My Politoed was a lot of fun. I had Crobat in Gen 6. That was the one that Blaze sent me. Donphan, I love Donphan Gen 2. Donphan was so much fun for me. I love Penelope. Maybe just, be low with that defensive, little tiny little elephant. She was adorable. Love Phanpy, love Donphan. That was forever in my heart. Is still going to be, you know what's crazy? That Donphan is severely underrated. Thankfully, they kind of buffed up Donphan a little bit more in Gen 9. But I'm very happy that they actually just continue with some more lore with Donphan, and I'm so down to see a fighting a ground fighting, and a steel fighting or steel ground, which is it's pretty damn good. I actually look forward to see that a futuristic Donphan. Excuse me. Oh man. Then you got Fortress, you got 2 good walls, you got Heracross. Sneasel, I think he's probably the more least I've used in Gen 2. I don't think I saw Sneasel much. But the colors were definitely different in in the older games. Let's see. Umbreon was definitely my pick as well. I think I had Umbreon in my team as well. I had Ephraim as well. I think I vividly remember Ephraim on my team as well. But it was Billy Mays, Mizu, Mount Corona, Penelope. Hooters was another one too. So they actually have my full team for Gen 2. Just almost identical. But who was the MVP in my team? It's kind of a tough decision to make. Because actually I remember Gen 2 vividly, and Crystal was so much fun to play as a stream. Miltank was I honestly I wish I had Miltank more in Gen 2. I wish I found a Miltank, but I never did. That would be funny. No Billy Mays, but he's an AK. I told you, Tick. Yes, Hooters was a Noctowl. I named my Noctowl Hooters. That was it was also not just that. Yeah, but so with the women. Yes. Because Hooters was not my Noctowl was a female too, which made sense. My Noctowl represented the entirety of the company, of the Hooters restaurants. So there you go. There you have it. But MVP was indeed my Typhlosion. I know it's kind of a tough one because I was thinking oh yeah, I could probably go with I love Donphan, one of my favorite ground types. Suicune definitely would have been interesting, but I've never had to use it as legendary, so I don't want to use legendaries. That'd be too cheap for me. Way too cheap. Don't give the Pokemon a chance. But that's what Umbreon on the list, which is awesome. But Ephraim was my sidekick for sure, as always. I had Chikorita, of course, from the very first from the very first Mystery Dungeon I played. The dungeon was Mystery Dungeon Red. And I had Chikorita and Charmander on my team, so that's probably a memory that I had stored upon. Like, I have Cass and Chikorita and have Dan Hikari and my Charmander. And I'll probably have different stories about that show, Mystery Dungeon. Was planning to do something about them, but I just didn't have much time anyway. Everyone else was busy at that time, so. But yeah, I'm going to go with Mount Corona, which is at the base of the name of my Typhlosion, which basically is a mountain named Mount Corona, and I believe it's Super Mario Sunshine. And there's also, you also want to count the drink, which, you've seen those Corona commercials with the whole, what was that, how the lyrics go? It goes, oh no, it's probably something like Pepperona or something like that. But, yeah, the drink. Just, I think I had a drawing of Typhlosion just like with a fucking Corona bottle in his hand. It makes, and then with a Thunder Punch in the other hand. It was so funny. Cause he had Thunder Punch. You gotta crop Thunder. So there we go. There you go. There's your Generation 2 team. All memories, fond memories from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and from the original Gold GSC, Gold Silver Crystal games. Fond memories. I also didn't get any gimmicks in here because most of these are like Mega Stones and Mega Evolutions Gen 6, and then Fairy Types didn't exist until Gen 6 happened, so I don't count that. If you want to count these are ones that were also transported into Gen 6, but which I want to. It would be nice to have Azumarill in here, and same with we'll have Clefable in here too. Mr. Mime was also on the list, but nah. I had Clefable was my other one for Gen 1, but again, doesn't exist because Gen 1 back in 1999 didn't exist, dude. Oh yeah, here we go. My home. This is my home. My home now, bitches. Generation 3, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Mega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Oh yes. My home. Hoenn. There's no place like Hoenn. The professor of Generation 3. Well, can I prove myself I'm still a professor of Gen 3? Because I'm a pro at Generation 3. This was my baby. This was my home. Starting off with, I remember going to GameStop. It was called EB Games in a mall. I remember vividly. This is not the Mandela effect, but it was so fond of me. I remember seeing EB Games. It was like right there. And I remember also going up north in Canada whenever I got my first GameCube. Actually, because my first GameCube was indeed my first GameCube was indeed in Canada, which is actually just a fun story. So I had good grades in school. I was like, oh, let's go to. It was when my mom and dad were celebrating their anniversary or whatever, and they went up there, and we went up there and also got my first console. I got my first ever console because my brother had the PlayStation that was his. And I got my very own console. It was my first GameCube. It was up in Canada. It was in Niagara Falls. It was the EB Games because I know Canada had EB Games. All different other countries had EB Games. We had here in the USA. We had GameStop. So big difference. Same store, different name, big difference. But I had a lot of good games over there too in Canada. So it was a little bit more pricey, but it was still. I only had I remember the first 3 games I got for GameCube. I still have the few copies over there on my shelf. I still have it to this day. And of course my GameCube is in the Hall of Blaze, which is in the back. In the back of my shelf. Which the GameCube is definitely that's my choice. So yes, Generation 3. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Oh yes. I have all the physical copies. The fact is I don't have the plushies as much anymore. I had a few of them. My friend and I had a few copies of Generation 3 plushies. I had Plusle Mined. I lost Plusle for some. No, I lost Mined, but I lost Plusle. By the way, fuck Plusle Mined. They're shit. Now you want to snatch my games, huh? Okay. Yes, just steal them from the goddamn shelf. Yeah, totally. Yeah, fly over to the USA with your over across the Canadian border. There you go. Do that, and you'll see. Great. Yeah, just visit and just jack my loot while you're at it. Go for it. All right, Gen 3 now. For normal, I actually did a practice on Gen 3 just see how before the stream even began. Somebody's over here. Nope, he's still not awake. All right, we got a few Generation 3 mons here for normal types. Zangoose was my friend's favorite. He was a massive fan of Zangoose. Then you got Cute Skitty. Then you got Dokkaty. Yeah, my friend Cute Skitty's in this section here too. And she's also a Generation 3 person, so she and I have a little bit more in common. Apparently, it's our ship. Because Skitty always visits me. Every time I play Pokemon, it's always Skitty popping up in the stream or in the chat. It's hilarious. You probably see her as a guest, as like a guest also, and like trades and and cameos and stuff too for the AzureBlaziken streams on Twitch. So you want to go check those out. Oh, there was also a battle we did a battle before, and and actually beat her. So it was BDSP. It was the Bloody Diamond Shining Pearl stuff. All right. Who is the best normal type of all? Who is the prettiest of the normal types? Or do I want to go with Slaking? Or do I want to go with Exploud, which I plan to have Exploud in my team in Mega Ruby. Because I'm actually doing a Let's Play of Mega Ruby right now. Actually, so we might be able to see maybe some spoilers here. Ooh, we're going to see some spoilers maybe. Maybe. Do I want to go with the big booby cast form? It looks like it has tits on like as a like fucking Pokemon. Cast form with tits. It's interesting. Lightning was a good pickup mon. Vigoroth was probably better than Slaking. Slaking is Truant, which will skip a turn every time, which is so stupid. I think it has a hidden ability as well. Last time I remembered. But Dokkaty was a lot of fun. Only thing is, like I said before in the previous episode of Pokemon Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, just get Cute Charm instead of Normalize. Just get Cute Charm. Cute Charm is basically you can get like when you do a physical move on a Pokemon, you instantly fall in love with the Pokemon. You can see you can see the hearts here. That was what it means when it comes to infatuation. So I forgot I actually have these. I forgot to take this mod off for some fucking reason. I'll just leave it there for to lol. I don't think anybody's gonna notice until now. I'm not the one being dirty. I mean, honestly, Casman does have like titties on its like head, or it's like its neck. It's interesting. All right, now I'm gonna go with Cute Skitty. I had Dokkaty, of course, on my team in Alpha Sapphire, so I'm going with the meme with Cute Skitty herself. Put her on the vice shit. There you go. I put you as a favorite, Skitty. There you go. Hopefully get to enjoy this podcast too. All right. Oh yes, fire types, baby. Here we go. Got a good old for ya. All right. Do you want to go with the obvious? Do you want to go with the obvious? Do I really want to go with the obvious point, or should I just go with Torkoal, or say my main with Should I go with my main guy, or should I stay with this? Maybe I should stay with a different fire type then. So I am a fire type, general. It's my element. Fire is my element. Camerupt is fun. It's just water is just Camerupt is shit when it comes to water types. Just drowning the shit out of it. It's just it's not worth it. Yeah, I'm going with the obvious. But remember, Blaziken is part fire fighting type, so yeah, obvious choice is obvious. Of course. Yeah, the chat was like, yeah, go obvious. They're like, yeah, you guys know me very well. That's my guy. That is my main, my spirit mon, of course. I'm gonna be Captain Obvious. Yeah, of course. We can skip that. Okay. There we go. All right. So many water types in Gen 3. Now, I could go with legendary right off the bat, but I'm gonna just say, here's the thing. You might be able to see some spoilers in for Omega Ruby because I'm doing a Let's Play of it already on my channel, on here. So I might be able, actually let me know in the chat want me to stream the rest of Omega Ruby. Maybe we can just probably save some time, but I have to catch up on the episodes first. Then maybe I can have a chance to go live with it. But I have to probably just go up and down. But it'll be fun actually to see what people think about Gen 3/Gen 6 territory, because it's a remake of the original RSE games. Of course you yeah, yeah. Of course you go Lucario. I remember vividly. Yes, I remember Lucario was your guy. Spirit Mom was Lucario. Yes, I haven't forgotten about Lucario. Don't worry. That I'm very aware of it. We'll get to Gen 4 very soon, so don't worry. I got you. I'll probably put Lucario for Talals, just for the hell of it. We'll get to that. Now, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, so remember your Lucario, of course. How can I not forget? That was something I was like, yeah, Lucario. There was a lot of figures from Lucario too, but I was like, I could never get them. I love how I see Lucario on the list every time I go shopping, whatever. I see Lucario on the list, and the next day he's all sold out. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Everyone wants to get Lucario. Jesus Christ, I can't get a simple figure of Lucario. God, but there's model kits now of Lucario, so I can probably get a Lucario one. Even with model kits, he was sold out. God damn it. Whatever, whatever, guys. What the fuck ever, shoppers. God. Yeah, I mean this is Gardevoir still. I'll just get Gardevoir instead. Wish they made the Mega Blaziken one. I have a copy of it. I definitely can see it over there. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the one that no one really uses that much these days. I gotta go with one of my favorite mons in Gen 3. If you think about Swampert, you're close. Not exactly, but Corphish. Yeah. Also my friend gave me a shiny Corphish. I was like, yes, I need to use shiny Corphish. Yes, I need to use shiny. I'll probably put him as a shiny because that's what I'm using him right now in my Let's Play so far. So I can probably just do this. Doing everything shiny. Yes. I have. Oh, also, I hate Blaziken shiny. It sucks. It's just a fucking version of a darker red. It's so stupid. I hate shiny Blaziken so much. Shiny Torchic was a lot better, but also you have these other shinies you can get. Also, shiny Skitty sucks too. Shiny Skitty sucks. It's so shit. It's shit. It also transfer to make the shiny version. So I'll let you guys know if I have any more shiny Pokemon too. I'll probably put them on the list as well. I'm going to include shiny Pokemon as well. That's part of the rules, too. Stupid freaking gnats again. Sorry, there's sneezes down fucking gnats in here. Get out of here. Alright, sorry. Yeah, shiny Blaziken sucks. But I also have a shiny Corphish when my friend gave me for the Let's Play, so here's again, that son of a bitch. Gnats are Alright, let me see. Alright, yeah, here we go. Oh, my bad. Let me turn this off. Alright, time for some grass types. Alright, now for grass. Yeah, the gnats are fucking... Stupid fucking gnats again. There we go. Alright, grass types time. Grass types time. No, I'm not going for Tropius. Fuck Tropius. Well, I'll probably have a bit better explanation and when I get to do the Let's Play. There should be I'll probably put a link in the description for all Let's Plays I've done so far, as Pokemon's concerned. So, I did do a Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire so far. You can go watch that. Watch a few episodes of it. I'll probably put the bios took way too long. That's what's taking forever. Is the bios and all my stats and whatever. So I talk about numbers. Yeah, as a Pokemon professor nowadays. Also, I recently got a shiny Cacnea too. It looks like as well. I'm not gonna put on the list, but I'm just like, yeah, just for this a memorable moment. It was a ROM hack of the Pokemon Fire Red. So, and plus the shiny claws you can get, how much you excuse me. I've been sneezing. So you know what I mean? I've been sneezing like crazy. It's also it's like no air conditioner in here, and it's fucking hot as hell in here. It's steamy. It's like being in a steam room. Right, I'm gonna make this fast as I can. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to really explain and try to. And just I'm already getting sick, and I'm still recovering from being sick as well. It's kind of a close call. Like, who wants to use a Nuzleaf that builds any grassy type attacks? But Shiftry is probably the better chance. But I'd say I'll go Trico and Sceptile. I did respect Sceptile. Like, I can go with like fighting types. I can go with Breloom. So I actually have Shroomish on my team right now too. So I can probably have Breloom, so it makes sense. I could probably bring back Toadette or Toad. So it'd be nice to bring Toadette in the mix. So then you have Roselia, but then there's no Roserade. I know. I think actually I was talking about Roserade before. In the past, maybe it was a different time or whatever. It was different. It was a different friend. But yeah, I'm going with Breloom. Probably the more obvious choice. But as for grass types, yeah, like Spore and maybe Bullet Seed. Just like I made some defensive moves, whatever. That could be helpful. So yeah, I had Shiny Corphish, so I'm going to put him as a Shiny. Not much electric types in Generation 3. It was kind of a shame there were some electric types. So they only had maybe Plusle They had probably the more choices to pick because people want to choose Plusle I'm going to go with Manectric. Obvious, that's definitely out of the obvious ones. I like Plusle but I hate them at the same time because they are like doubles Mons. Like they're good for double battles only, maybe for tag teams. So, unfortunately, can't really say nothing. I had nothing to say about that. So I really can't make any promises with that. Okay. Alright, let's get to Ice. Ice types, I actually want to use Walrein. I use Walrein in X-Ego Darkness, so Walrein was a lot of fun in like XD. It was, because remember X-Ego Darkness and the GameCube versions of Gen 3, it was so much fun. I remember I still have both copies still, to this day. But Glalie was a beast. I remember Glalie was such a beast in Gen 3. And like I said, in XD, I remember having Glalie on my team. Holy shit. And having maybe a Poison Oak, my Victory Bell on the side. He was awesome. Yeah, Glalie was definitely another model was, in my opinion, was very underrated. It kind of deserved a lot better. I mean, for a guy for a Pokemon who looks like the discount Majora's Mask, or the move from Majora's Mask, it just, yeah. He's just a very angry dude. It looks like a discount moon or an angry moon, like you see in Mario Brothers. Remember the angry sun in Mario 3? This is just the opposite. It's an angry moon. So, or a moonhead. I think I named him Moonhead before. He's just a big ass face. Lily is known as the face Pokemon. So, but he's been everywhere else and like any other games too. But I did Snorunt and the Glalie, and then Frostlass in Gen 4 was a lot better. He also had the female version, which turned to Frostlass. But yeah, Glalie was pretty tanky. Protect is nice. Maybe Crunch. Having like Blizzard and Ice Beam be fun. But Glalie was just fun to watch. Very underrated in Gen 3. And later on in Gen 2 was very, very underrated. I just feel like he just deserves a lot better. Same with Donphan. I'm glad Donphan again is gonna get that buff in Gen 9. I'm happy for Donphan. But now for Glalie, they'll hopefully maybe make some changes for Glalie. Maybe later on in the future. Yeah, we'll see Generation 10 Pokemon, yeah. Because we're pretty much up to 1,000 Pokemon now. We're at the thousands. So, yay. Alright, now for fighting. Do I want to go with the obvious choice, everybody? Do I go with the obvious choice? Do I want to go obvious again? I just want to go, or should I just go with like Medicham or Hariyama, just for Talals? I guess for Talals, go for Blaziken or Breloom again. Or Combuskin. Also, because remember, Torchic does evolve into Combuskin, which is a fighting type. I can go with Combuskin, actually, because I can just... where all the hot Combuskins at? You know? So... But I've used the Bubba gimmick before with Hariyama. I always name him Bubba. Every Hariyama I've named, I named him Bubba. Pretty much was my best guy in Coliseum, XD. He was, I think, was part of my team as well with Glalie and Poison Oak and Umbreon I had. So I could probably go off and just say Hariyama because Bubba has been like the gimmick of just of Generation 3. It's been a while since I've used Hariyama on camera, but off camera I use him so many times. So he honestly, Bubba needs to be deserves something. Maybe next time I'll do I want if I can do Gen 4, but maybe I'm on Generation 7, maybe Gen 7 I can do. Maybe for Sun and Moon. I'll probably find a Hariyama maybe I can bring back Bubba. So my cousin always named him Bubba every time. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it makes sense because he's a big Bubs. He's a big Bubba. Okay, reminds me of Bubba Ray Dudley, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with my heart and go with the memory. I wish I can go with Blaziken and Breloom again for the lulz, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Hariyama. He deserves a little bit better too. Honestly, Hariyama he also got a good buff too in Gen 9. Like he also has it's basically like a fighting electric type, which is probably the first fighting electric type we've ever seen. So in this franchise, which is pretty cool. That's cool to see Hariyama. Like it's typing that you never see, like steel fighting or Lucario. Yeah, Lucario exists, but let's say what steel and electric fighting. That hasn't happened yet, which is kind of cool. So I'm happy for Hariyama. So, alright, poison types. I know Swalot. I know my friends like, use Swalot. You should use Swalot. He's really fun mod. He's very tanky. Swallow, spit up, stockpile. He's a very lewd Pokemon. I respect Swalot. Seviper for me. Like I said, remember I said before with the Orochimaru and Seviper in common? Flamethrower. Yeah. Just give Flamethrower on a Seviper, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. It's nuts. It is nuts having a Seviper. I also introduced this Poison Tail for the first time, which is pretty nice. Plus you also can get critical hits easily, and also can leave a bad poison mark. Oh god. Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ. Arceus Christ. Ground types, oh boy, this might be a tough one. Right? I think we're in for a treat. You guys ready for ground types? Oh boy. Oh, I love Flygon, Swampert, maybe, I don't know what camera up. Wishcash, maybe, I'll probably get out the list. Groudon, though. Groudon was fun. Precipitate Blades was disgusting in like Gen 8 and 9. Or Gen 8, really. Sword Shield Groudon was fucking nasty. Oh my god, I love Groudon Gen 8. Oh man. Groudon was probably my guy. Oh man, I like how I remember Groudon because I'm playing making Ruby right now, which represents Groudon. Oh my god, Drought, it's so much fun. Oh man, I don't know, but I love Jinzo. Claydol, I named my Claydol Jinzo. If you remember Yu-Gi-Oh, Foxy, I know you're gonna love this one because I named my Claydol Jinzo. And I actually played I did a run of Alpha Sapphire with Jinzo. He was nasty too. Tanky, but fucking nasty. Good old Jinzo blocking trap cards. No, Jinzo can just, he's tanky and he also can explode. So, yeah, I love Jinzo. Oh man, Baltoy and Claydol were so much fun. I have a huge memory of using those two. And especially Claydol was just... But Claydol with Hyper Beam is pretty nasty, and he also got some good defensive. It's just tanky. Oh man, once we get to maybe Rock type and Steel. Oh man. That was insane. We also got Swampert too. Swampert would be fun for a ground type choice. Then you got Flygon. Oh boy. I don't know. Flygon, maybe for dragon types, Flygon's part dragon ground. It's probably the first dragon ground type we've seen for Brava. Well, for Brava it counts, but Flygon for the family is a Trapinch, Flygon, and for Brava and Flygon. Bro, time went ahead. Oh, that's right. It was daylight. Yeah, I'm aware of it. I didn't know either because I'm usually like what, like April or May. That's daylight savings time, but it's gonna be spring coming up. Like, next week will be spring coming up. That's probably the only reason why they did that. Maybe because remember it was Groundhog Day, so Groundhog Day means that when a groundhog pops up with the first sun during the wintertime, that means we're gonna have like spring early or whatever. So maybe the groundhogs popped up at some point, and it's gonna foresee spring earlier this year. So maybe they did that. So that's my theory. That's what I think. What the fuck? Hey, this all hard for me. Yeah, it's daylight savings time again. Because I was like wondering, like, when's it gonna be daylight savings time? Because it's gonna be spring next week, so, or next Sunday. Or the next Monday is supposed to be the first day of spring, right? Yeah, next Monday is supposed to be spring, so it makes sense. So that's why we'll probably have spring early, just a little bit, because it usually be like April or May when it comes to daylight savings time. So I kind of understand that. I really do. Turn to 3 because we're basically moving our clocks forward because we're also gonna have we're also gonna have like sun have a longer sunset than just like early like what 4 or 5 p.m. because evening is just like because the time flies so damn fast now, and that's what sucks about daylight savings time because time flies so fast and we also get like an extra hour in, so we all know we have less time to sleep. So that's been like the biggest problem. If you remember in class, that's what we've been talking about. Because daylight savings time was kind of a thing that existed because we had to move our clocks forward or backwards. So it's a common thing we have to deal with now, even today. And yeah, I forgot too. I didn't even realize it was daylight savings time. So I probably had to put my clocks up full, like moving an hour in because daylight savings time is just like, yeah, it's a painful experience. So that's okay. I mean, it happens. I mean, we weren't really expecting spring early. Be like mainly usually be like April or something, but no, it's March now because here we are. Here we are. All right, let's get back to this. All right, let's see. It's either gonna be Flygon, Jinzo, or Swampert. Groudon is a fun choice, but I'll save him maybe later on. I'll pick Legendary later on. I have a hunch for Groudon. I'll save him for later. It's one of these three, everybody. Swampert's a good fucking good ground type. Protect and again, always lose Protect. Earthquake. Anyone with Earthquake is always fun. But should I go with the MVP Jade, which is my Flygon I use in Pokemon X and Y? Or will I go with Swampy from Valerie's Swampert? I saw Valerie's Swampert, which is my friend's name, Valerie. She had a Swampert. She was like, I don't need this copy anymore. You can have the game. I was like, okay, perfect. I got her Mudkip and her Mudkip Meryl. Because she was moving pretty much, and she had she gave me a few games, of course, too. That was like. That's when I also got a few I think her brother gave me DBZ Budokai 2, which was one of the worst DBZ games I've ever played. It was bad. It's like a board game or something like that. It was on PS2, and I hated it. It was the worst DBZ game I've ever played. Sagas was the worst one, but DBZ fucking Budokai 2 was awful. Like the story was awful. Why is that be a board game? What was this, Mario Party on crack? But juiced up? God. So stupid, man. I hated it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Claydol. I love Jinzo. I also use part Psychic type too, so I should went with Claydol too if I wanted. But as long as you obviously just first Psychic types, we'll get to that in a minute. Flying types. Ooh man. I'll save Beautifly, Masquerain, and Ninjask for later. Well, oh yeah, fuck Pelipper. I hate Pelipper. Pelipper sucked. I'll give you guys this. Pelipper sucked Gen 3. It sucks. It sucks so bad. Fuck Tropius too. Fuck Tropius. Alright. Either gonna be I'll take it with the dragons and Rayquaza. How could people forget about Rayquaza? Why would you want to have Rayquaza on your team though? Just saying. Alright, but I'm gonna go with the obvious. I use AV. I used Swallow so many times. He was so fast. I loved it. It's kind of close between Altaria and maybe Salamence, but I'm gonna go with Altaria. And I also a little tribute. Shout out to Sky. I'm gonna turn Sky into my shiny. Yes, I had a shiny Altaria. I still have my shiny Altaria to this day. Fun thing is, Altaria. Well, I remember getting like a wild Altaria. Some reason in Ultra Sun, which had a secondary team, which I had Clefable, brought her back, and then I found a shiny Altaria for no reason. It was so nice to have a shiny. I'll pop with the shiny Blaziken in as well too, just for Talols. But I'm like, nah, fuck the shiny Blaziken, it sucks. Nah, I should think of that. Think about it, like, no, it's bad. Alright, Altaria is fun. I love Sky. She was so much fun to have on my team. Potentially, I'm probably gonna shiny Altaria at some point as a plushie, just for the tribute, for my shiny. That's not, well, of course I have shiny Corphish. I can't unfortunately use Altaria right now because I used one already. But it'd be nice to actually have another Swablu. If I get another shiny Swablu, it'd be huge. It'd be nice to have another tribute to Sky. Maybe it would be feeling maybe have a Skylar for a male Altaria maybe. That'd be pretty fun. So yes, I definitely include for flying. I also have Dragon though, but I'll probably have something better than that when I can. We'll discuss legendaries when possible. So that'd be an idea. All right, now for Psychic types. I think honestly, either I'm gonna get threatened to be like, if you don't get Gardevoir, Azure, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, okay. I haven't. Okay, here's. Excuse me. But I have a theory. I have two theories actually. One, do you really want to use Charlotte, Latias, or Latios? Or do you guys grade the dragons better than Gardevoir? Or you see Gardevoir's say fuck the dragons? Then again, Gardevoir is part fairy type too, in Gen 6. Then you got Metagross, which is insane. Then you got Deoxys, goddamn Deoxys, and we also got the other the Sun and Moon Pokemon of the bunch of Gen 3. It's kind of close. I want to use Gardevoir. I think Gardevoir will be so I use Gardevoir a lot in Gen 3, and probably the best choice out of all the Psychic types. Grumpig I'd never used Grumpig before. That's one of the only ones I never used. Oh yeah, plus there's a few unknowns too, with the question mark and the exclamation point. Those are the two unknowns they introduced. I didn't see any of them. Maybe it's probably like the Reggies. One of the Reggies plate, like the Regirock, Registeel, Regice. Deoxys over everyone. I'm just gonna name. You know what? I don't blame you. I mean, Deoxys. There is an E in Deoxys. It's spelled wrong, but honestly, I don't mind actually. I might also name that in that format that you just said. Deoxys over anyone. It's true, but then again, you'll see a lot of legendaries too. Because they had a lot of good legendaries in Gen 3. And plus the story they told in Gen 3 was amazing. I should have mentioned that from the beginning. The story in Gen 3 was beautiful. It was a great experience. Now my only problem is this might be the toughest one, I think. Then you got Rock, you got Steel. Oh boy, we got a lot to work with. There's still a lot. It's gonna be tough though. I already used Claydol, so I can't use them again. Jinzo's, like I said, tanky Psychic type, really fun. But especially Earth, it's for Earth and Ground, it's so nasty. Probably my favorite Ground type for sure. But then you got Donphan too. That'll be a tough debate. And the heater's going off, so Because I don't want. Because the last time I was recording, it was burning. Because the landlord was like, "Oh God, what do I do? Oh crap, I forgot to turn this off." And then we were all dying in this house. It was just crazy. But Deoxys over anybody. That's debatable. But yeah, I kind of like. I do agree with you on Deoxys. Like any form is nice though, anyway. Like Deoxys, like for attack, speed, defensively. It's a pretty really fun to watch Mon. I remember watching the anime. I'm also watching like the movies, of course, with Deoxys, and there was an episode about it too. There was a book about it too, which a lot of history for generation. But yeah, that's tough. But you know, somewhere there'll be a lot of God of War stamps out here. He's just so cool. Look, I mean, he has different. All the forms: speed, defense, attack, and then you have normal form. It's probably the first one we've seen with many forms, which is also that's probably the first thing they've done so far in the franchise so far with this for an Emerald. But I know Emerald's probably the more efficient because I don't think you can get Deoxys in Gen 3 or sorry in Ruby and Sapphire maybe. I could be wrong about that. I have no idea because I haven't even got that far. I remember just beating the game and doing the post game stuff, and I was like, okay, I'll just do this one and just go ahead and do the Battle Frontier, and that was it. I never experienced Deoxys before until like now they remixed. They made Deoxys. You can guess Deoxys much easier now in the post game. I believe in ORAS. That's what we call it, ORAS. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. That's the acronym. Just ORAS. So what are we gonna go from here? You know what? I'm gonna trust you and say Deoxys. I'm sorry, Gardevoir, and then you have the dragons. They also got dragon types too. And then Metagross is fun, but a lot of people say Deoxys. So you know what? I trust you. I trust you. I'm going with Deoxys. It's kind of tough. I like Gardevoir too, but at the same time, I'm just kind of going with Legendary at this time. So I'm gonna give my friends trust. Alright, I say the bug types for getting Deoxys in any game. You can get an encounter of Deoxys in Omega Ruby Alpha, like I said, ORAS or Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I believe it's supposed to be the post game or like somewhere in the storyline. You're supposed to be like a storyline after they beat the game. Some person just comes up to your home and has a favor to ask you. Because since you beat the game, whatever, this person comes. I don't want to spoil anything. I want to wait till a Let's Play. You have to probably have to watch Let's Play of Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire to check it out. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with your best. I also like Deoxys too. I like Jirachi as well. That's as long as Psychic types of Gen 3. They're really good. Some good Psychic types here. But I agree with you. I'm going with Deoxys myself actually. I remember watching the anime, watching the forums. I agree with that. So, oh shit, man, my bad. I'm going with Deoxys. And plus, I probably think of something else. Probably think of other legendaries too. The only tough part is you have to find who's gonna be the MVP, who's the favorite of Gen 3. That's gonna be the toughest one, I think. But obviously, it's probably be me on the spot. All right, let's get to bug types now. Remember I say Beautifly, Masquerain, and Ninjask. On that's why I say it from flying types. So now we're over here in bug. I already made my choice. Yeah, I'm gonna choose Ninjask. And then this is another spoiler. Sorry about this one. I also had Shedinja as well, but I'm like Shedinja would be fun to play. Just because I remember like watching videos like Shedinja only run it's just disgusting. It's just so stupid. But Shedinja would be interesting, but I remember like having Ninjask as speed boost because Shedinja is probably the only Pokemon with 1 HP. Because Shedinja is basically just like a dead Nincada at this point, but it's a ghost. It's like a dead Ninjask, but also like a very like a really or like what how you say like a sperm cell. If you remember DBZ, let's go DBZ territory for example. Go to Cell. And you see the imperfect cell. That's what it like the little shell in DBZ. He had this little. I remember this in the Cell Saga. He had this little shell. It was like that's what it reminded me of Shedinja. It's basically that cell like egg that's popped out or whatever. Like maybe he's shedding his skin. That's what's called Shedinja. So that's what it reminded me of. It's just seeing that whole like seen cell just like he just come just. That's what it reminded me of too. It's basically a mon with 1 HP with Wonder Guard, which can counter any move. I was like, sperm cell? This doesn't make any sense. Where am I going with sperm cell? I don't know which one. I don't know. But yeah, I was trying to think Cell was shedding its skin. Really, that's what I meant to say. I meant to say the Cell was basically just shedding its skin in DBZ. That's based from the Cell Saga. So I remember watching. I was like, oh yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But Shedinja, that's what the name came from. That's Shedinja, like shedding its skin. But Wonder Guard is just broken because if you have a move that doesn't really affect Shedinja, like let's say like because Shedinja is part bug and ghost, so maybe like fire, dark, and ghost itself. The ghost can hit ghost itself, yeah, so it makes sense. And it's to be super effective, but unfortunately it's not. So I had Shedinja on the mind. I was like, yeah, I want Shedinja, but I'll probably put him as a ghost type. Maybe I'll play him as Ghost, but I think honestly I'm probably gonna have like maybe Bayonet or Sableye on the brain. So I'm gonna go with Ninjask for Speed Boost because Speed Boost is so helpful, and just Ninjask could be so much fun. But Ninjask is basically just just the alive version, and Shedinja is mostly just like the dead version of Ninjask. So they go hand in hand. All right, rock types now. We have Regirock, we got Relicanth, Anorith, Almaldo, Leleep, and then Cradily, Solrock, Nosepass, Aron or Aron. I call him Aron. Lairon, I used to call him Larion for some goddamn reason as a kid. I was so stupid as a kid. Yeah, I call him Larion. Where's the other I? Yeah, Larion. I'm a dumbass kid. And then my second in command, Aggron. Oh yes, I love Aggron. I love Aggron so much. And in the anime and the game, love Aggron. Love the Aron family. It was so much fun, man. Aggron just honestly deserves a lot. I'm glad it's coming back in Generation 9 when they get the DLC, whatever. So probably go with the idea of just having any rock type in the game, really. Some viewers just like unliked the video. It was like, no, you should have picked a better Pokemon. So someone asked for this, disliked it. It looked like someone that just unliked the video. Damn. Yeah, Larry on. I was a dumb kid. Oh well. Alright, let's see which rock type. I'm gonna probably go Regirock for this one. I'll save Steel. I'll save Aggron and the rest of the Aggron and Aron family. It's just Steel type, so we'll talk about Steel type. I'm just gonna go with Regirock. So I remember having a shiny. Actually, there's another one also I have also includes a shiny. Because there's a birthday gift that my friend got me. Yes. Have you ever seen a chocolate Regirock? There you go. Its shiny form is hilarious. I had to do it for the lols, so I'm gonna go with. That's one reason why I picked Regirock because I remember having. I actually have the shiny version of Regirock. It's so much fun, and especially it's like chocolate. It's so stupid. Oh man, it's like a caramel chocolate flavor. Yeah, you have a chocolate Regirock, everybody. I recommend it. 10 out of 10. I was gonna say someone didn't like the video. They're like, you should make a different Pokemon over different. But why we want to? We'll just like the video if you hate. If you just say we want to see Gardevoir in there, yeah, well you're not gonna get shit. Gardevoir is part Fairy type in Gen 6 later on, so unfortunately can't do that. So sorry. All right. Ghost. I'll go with either Sableye Shedinja. Or else I Dusclops, but Dusknoir doesn't exist, so I can't. I'll probably say Dusknoir for Gen 4. But let's go with Shedinja. So I probably explained it pretty well with the whole lore between Ninjask and Shedinja, because one's dead and one's alive, which is interesting enough. It's mostly just like a dead shell, which is pretty damn cool. So that's on the ghost type. Alright, next is dragon types. This will be tough. Okay. I have Altaria list, so I can exit Altaria. Now we get to the hardest part, is the last few lot here. We have Dark, which I could probably say Dark, I could probably debate on Dark types, and then Steel, which I have a lot of questions. The last three typings are going to be a fucking choice. Oof. Oof. Massive oof. Oh boy. Okay. I'm just checking and see if Blaze is still awake, but he's probably sleeping again. Fucking piece of shit. Alright, never mind. Alright, dragon types. Oh boy. Now, do we go for Rayquaza? Do we go for Latias and Latias? Do we go with Salamence? Altaria already picked already, I don't have to worry about that. For flying. Now we go from like, I'll also go for Flygon for ground. I have a choice to either go with one of these. This might be a tough choice. The last three will be tough. Be very, very tough. Okay. Let's see. This might be the very tough one. Rayquaza? Okay. Interesting choice. You pick Rayquaza out of all of them. Yeah, you know what? Then again, I did ask why wouldn't you want to go with Rayquaza on your team? And plus, the shiny is very nice too. The shiny versions of Rayquaza look so awesome. I'll show you an example. Actually, it's not on the list. I'm not gonna put it on the list right now. I'm gonna show you the shiny version of it real quick so I can prove my point. Like look at that. That's just beautiful. Like for just a black Rayquaza as it's shiny, just beautiful. And it's one of my friend's favorites too. So maybe, just maybe. Let me actually take off the list now. But yeah, it's a good idea having maybe Rayquaza on the team. But I'm like, Also, we also got legendaries too. So don't forget we have legendaries as well on the list on the board next. So that's another thing. Also, we'll start with Torchic. Obviously, that's our obvious choice. All right. Let's see. Do I want to go for the? Only thing I'm really concerned about Rayquaza is his ice typing. Because remember, dragons are weak to ice. And plus, Rayquaza is part dragon ice, which is like quad weakness to ice. That could be a problem. And dragons themselves can hit dragons, which are super effective on each other, which it could be a double-edged sword. If it probably does, I guess Rayquaza will probably meet its nightmare, Kyurem or Kyurem, but it's Kyurem, which is from Gen 5. But yeah, I'd be scared right now if I were Rayquaza facing a Kyurem. It'd just be nasty. Especially it's Dragon Ice style, which is too weak, just two strong attacks, which is like it's gonna be super effective against Rayquaza. Now, I did go. A lot of people say go with Jade as my MVP, which I use Flygon a lot. I love Flygon so much. But I'll go with the safest route. I'm gonna go Flygon. I remember using Flygon in Gen 3. I loved it so much. It's just, the only problem is it evolves so late in the game. But it's a risk to take. It's worth it. If you take care of it, you get a lot of experience for it. I believe Flygon evolves into level 48, which is like maybe around like the Elite Four, which is gonna be a bitch to evolve. But now, like later on in the remakes, so it's probably be much easier just to have like, hey, it's gonna be a lot easier because Gen 6 is probably one of the easier generations out of all the Pokemon games. Like X and Y, ORAS were like the two easiest two games you would probably like. All right, this would be very easy but they like toned down the bit in ORAS. So it's definitely a lot better than just like, just trying to evolve and try to grind in the originals. But it's fun. It's a fun way. But I agree with Rayquaza. We'll probably talk about legendaries. That might be the biggest conversation we're going to have about legendaries. That might be the toughest one. Because I think for Generation 3, there's so many good legendaries. Groudon was probably my choice out of all the three. let's say like Kyogre, Suicune, Kyogre, Groudon, or Rayquaza, I had to really pick out of the three. I go with Groudon. Groudon was so much fun in Gen 8. But I go my Groudon over Rayquaza. It's kind of tough, but I'm like, if I can just like land, because I know Groudon's one of the slowest mons of the three. It's very slow, but he's more powerful, more stronger, more fierce. That's what I feel like. But Rayquaza, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's fast as hell. He's the fastest, obviously the fastest of the bunch. He's really fast. So I have no problem. He's definitely the Peacekeeper in Gen 3. He was definitely the Peacekeeper, so that way I can guarantee it. Alright. Dark types. And yes, there's always racing in the back. Someone's doing Mario Kart in real life. Alright, now for dark types. Dark and mysterious. Absol. That was easy. Absol. I always want to use Absol. It's just, yeah. Absol's better. It's fucking. You got the emo hair. You got the fucking fang. You got the fang on the top, on the blade on the top of its head, the side of the head. Easy. Straight up easy. That was the easy one. All right, but I'm gonna say this one's gonna be a tough one for steel types. I love steel types as well. Probably my second command, I have to go Aggron. I love you, Mawile. I love Mawile. It's such a really cute Pokemon. It was so adorable in Gen 3. I love Mawile. Metagross is awesome too. But still, I also like, and Jirachi is pretty cool. It's one of those still legendaries, but it's a legendary itself too. Which I remember watching Wishmaker. It was such a fun movie. Probably my favorite movie I've chosen in that whole lot of movies to pick with. Yeah, Wishmaker was definitely the one I chose. That's my favorite movie, Pokemon. I gotta go Aggron. I have to go Aggron for steel types. It's a must for me. Aggron is my second command. Ash, but just like I named her Ash. It's short for like Ashley or Ashlyn. But Ash was so awesome. She was just amazing for even like Emerald, and then possibly maybe in Alpha Sapphire I've used. Yeah, she was just amazing for my team. She was great. Fucking like I spammed the triple protect. It was clutch. I was only protect like twice per turn, or twice a turn. But third times I actually mastered that triple protect. It was fucking awesome. I loved it. That was a good moment too. I did like one of those online battles. It was great. So, Mighty Aggron, Mighty Ash, or Ashley strikes again. It's very tanky. Aggron is slow. It's a little bit slower than a little bit faster than Regirock, but Aggron can be pretty damn tanky and fast. So, especially the Steel Rock type, it's rare to see some of those these days now. But I guess now they changed it in like Gen 9. But also, I'm happy to see Blaziken and Aggron are both back, which I'm very excited to see them back in the DLC coming up in Scarlet and Violet. So, once the DLC pops up again, I'm definitely gonna get my hands on it and bring back my mons what I started growing up with. So, Aggron will be back. Blaziken will be back in Generation 9. I am super excited for that. I'm pumped up for that. Hell yeah. Well, this is why I'm here. Never a Pokemon game, but this is why I'm here for a reason. This is why I'm here. To teach you. That's why I said before, I am indeed a Pokemon professor. So, I'm here to teach Pokemon to other different new people. So this is perfect, because I made an example before, what if people never played Pokemon before in their lives? Well, this is why I'm here. This is exactly why I'm here, for a reason. I'm a Pokemon professor, so don't worry, I got you. But I know you heard of Lucario, obviously. We're gonna get Gen 4 in just a brief moment. I started, yes, Torchic. Easy. Alright, man, big debate. This will be interesting. Okay. We already picked Deoxys, we already picked Regirock, and so Regirock and Deoxys out of the question. Ooh. if you want to start off like the basics of Pokemon, play play Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, or Green if you want to play if you want to play the Japanese version. Go ahead. But I recommend Gen 1 first. Start from the beginning, from Gen 1, or if you want to play honestly, Fire and Leaf Green are probably the biggest like tools you can start off with. But if you want to like go old school, go Pokemon Yellow or go Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, or Green. If you're Japanese, you play the green one. But play the first gen first. I recommend like for starters that want to start off the games and get to know the basics of the attacks. It's like rock paper. It's like basically it's rock paper scissors. Where like fire can burn out the forest, the greens of the woods. Excuse me, sorry, that's a sneeze. I'm pretty sure we have a sneeze counter at some point. Also, water, of course, will just put out the fire, and then the grass can somehow. But if you have like a switch, whatever, I'd say like go to Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I mean, that would help you a little bit because that's basically the reference of the remake of Gen 1 of the original 151 Pokemon. So. Oh, I mean, you can probably get an emulator, just like play it. Just get an emulator for the Game Boy Advance. Just like, all right, you get a copy Pokemon, get a ROM Pokemon of the old Pokemon games. You just play it from there. It's 2023 now, so there you go. If you want to go, you want to just play the basics. Yeah, I recommend it. But like as far as like Switch games are concerned, I recommend like the first. I feel like if you have like a 3DS or you have like maybe a Switch or whatever, I recommend just playing Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. It'd be probably a good start for people that that want to try out like the basics of how the lore started with Gen 1. That's probably the only thing I'd say about that. I haven't played it myself, so I already played the older ones before, like the other remakes. But playing the Let's Go series will probably be a little bit a way to say, oh, it's going to help you. Well, plus, you can start with Eevee as a starter, which you can probably evolve with different other starters. Without this Eevee evolves much. You can probably get a whole bunch of copies of Eevee. Eevee you can play, because this is probably the first thing you can play, have Eevee as a starter. And plus, you also have, if you have Pokemon Go on your phone, which you also can like transfer like the mons you can get for Pokemon Home, or sorry, Pokemon Go into Pokemon, the Let's Go series, whatever. I always want to play it too, and showcase what I mean about it. But you probably look at a lot of different people, a lot of different PokeTubers online. There's a lot of PokeTubers online, more than I am. So I'm sure they'll probably explain and the same explanations as I always say. But it's a good start. I recommend it. We'll probably take a break here. Actually, we'll probably start Gen 4 and the end. This will probably be our halftime. So we're right in the 2-hour mark. So we're gonna go ahead and probably do our halftime at the Gen 3, our stream halftime. I still have like a few of them, but I also got a few other different new moves here. All right, let's see. Now we get to our biggest one. Make this as fast as we can. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Rayquaza, just for the speed of it. I like Groudon too. I want to use Groudon badly, but I love my slow and steady Groudon. But the Rayquaza is gonna be a lot faster. And plus, I can use Latias and Latios. I love Latias and Latios too. They were so much fun. But our Legendary is gonna be interesting enough. We only pick one of them, folks. We only got one of them. Who will it be? I'll just put Rayquaza wrong. Rayquaza. You're close though. I'll give you that. You're close. You're kind of close on the pronunciations, but yes, on the spell check. Rayquaza. Sounds like a Spanish word for like Raquel. Yeah, hey, Rayquaza, come here. Bien aquí. Something like that. Alright, go my gut. Yeah, it's gut check time. I like the slow and steady Groudon. I'm gonna have to go Groudon here, because I am playing my Ruby anyway, too, and at this point, so I'm gonna have to, like, include it as well. I mean, I did like get Ruby first. I actually got Sapphire first, then Ruby, then I got Emerald like later on. So I also got my collection. All right, easily the favorite. I'm sorry, Skitty and Corefish. Sorry about this, but yeah, that's the easy choice. I gotta go with myself. I gotta go with the obvious choice, and that my friends, my beautiful torches and combuskins of all ages. Indeed, it just concludes my Gen 3, beautiful Gen 3 collection. I'll probably maybe do the rest, but we have a long way to go because I only have 4 hours of my time, and plus I don't have time right now. Because this is a very special Pokemon edition, and Blaze is not fucking here. God damn it, he's still sleeping like a Snorlax. God damn it, man. All right, we're gonna head to halftime, but we'll do Gen 4. I'm probably gonna include Lucario in there too. So we're gonna do the Diamond and Pearl and Platinum series, which of course I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm assuming you got Lucario, or also put him in fighting. Maybe one or the other. We'll see Lucario in that spot too. All right, we'll get ready for halftime. Yes, we'll just get ready. So we'll be right back here. Move this. Move this up front. We'll probably take like a 10-minute break, and we'll come back because I also need to get some Benadryl. It's also hot as hell in here, so I need to just do this right here. All right, there we go. All right, we'll be back in a moment. We'll come back and we'll second half. If we can try at least wrap up the rest of the gens. It's a lot of stuff in this side, but maybe I can wake up Blaze at some point. We can actually continue the rest. So I'm probably going to go speed round and gen, like try to do a little bit of speeding up because we don't have much time anyway. And by the time I get back, probably be like waiting like next hour and 30 minutes left of the stream because I'm trying to at least go. I'm less unlimited, so I can't really go over the limit right now. But for the time being, you guys can just take a break. I wish I could put the halftime stuff here, but I can't because I haven't really like officially filled up my stuff on my Nightbots or whatever, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky to even pull the spots here in my Nightbot. I tried to fix it and it didn't work for some reason. All right, I'm probably use the bathroom at the time being, and while we're at it, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and I'll probably fill in a little bit. We'll probably sweep a little bit. We'll probably get to We'll probably get through the half of it. We'll get to Lucario. Maybe at fighting we'll talk about Lucario in the next. Yes, but yeah. In the meantime, we're gonna we'll do more dancing. I'll be back, play some music in the back, and I'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. Here we go again, back at it once more with the sorry for the fan, being in the back because it's fucking hot as a a harlot in church. So I always say anything offensive to a female, to a female, but nevertheless, we're back, everybody, again with the second half of this podcast. Earlier we just did I also did a little bit of a Gen 4 editing. I want to see how things go, see my opinions or whatever. So I want to try to see if I can speed up, let's do a little speed round of things. I don't want to try to give myself like a minute or two just to talk about the Pokemon or whatever, but I'm getting ready to also bought some water, went to the bathroom. But I'm back, halftime is done with, now we can move on forward into the second half of the stream. And we can get things ready. Hope you guys are ready for it, because I also did a little bit did some Gen 4. We're in the Generation 4, we just rather Gen 3. It was kind of a tough choice to make all the Pokemon, all the shinies and stuff too. Let me turn the fan off because I just want to get some fresh air, get some fresh air going, because it's fucking atrociously hot today. But now here we are. We're in Gen 4 now. I want to say some bigger topics because I know fighting, psychic, and then maybe steel. We'll probably talk about those in a minute. Hope you guys are back as well too. Hope you guys are still here, we're ready to go, and we get things rolling now. All right, so we get to our first of the list. We have Lopunny. I chose Lopunny. This is for Gen 4 versus Diamond, Pearl, and then Platinum. Or if you played the Switch versions, which is the BDSP, or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, those games are dead now. Platinum is probably I recommend just playing Platinum instead. Pokemon Platinum is probably the more popular. If you want to talk about for recommendations of Pokemon games I know we had this discussion earlier. For Gen 3, play Auroras, be easier for you. But if you want to have a challenge, to start grinding whenever, you can definitely get a choice. Also had my mind on Milotic as well too for Gen 3, but I was like, it's hard to get Milotic these days now. That's a problem. That is a big problem. Because you have to get a feedback, you have to find depending on what your lottery ticket is, you have to find that specific water or fishing route, like a fishing tile, which is really dumb. I mean, really, really dumb. Right, but I picked Lopunny, of course, for the waifu standards, yes. So, I also... excuse me. I of course, I got himself with RCS, or PZ, or Porygon Z, but I'm like, I'll think about something else, maybe. But anyway, Lopunny is probably the better choice. And obviously, waifu material. My fire type, there wasn't much fire types at all. Gen 4 had the worst Pokédex of all time. It was, if you want to count all the Pokédexes they had in Gen 4, I know actually I talked about this when we were younger. I mentioned before too, I'm sure you remember this as well, that Gen 4 had the worst Pokédex of all time. It was bad. Diamond and Pearl was horrible. Every kid, and actually you'll probably witness when I say this, every kid had a DS and a Diamond and Pearl copy or Platinum, but Diamond and Pearl was probably everyone in our class loved Diamond and Pearl. Then there was an older one like Gen 4. It was the worst Pokédex of all time. It sucked. It sucked for Gen 4. But then Platinum shows it's our savior. Gen 4 was Pokemon Platinum. It was our savior. It was awesome. I'd rather just play Platinum instead. Just play Platinum. Alright, we just also made some choices here that you guys would probably be interested in, maybe agree with me when I say it. Probably on your favorite list too. Of course, Gen 4, debuts. I guess technically Gen Battlefront 2 debuted Lucario, but it was, I guess, non-canon. They had, Gen 3 had introduced Lucario kinda in the movie, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. And also, of course, they had the details of just the back of the past where the trainer named Wily had the Lucario of his own. If you remember that movie, of course, well, that's his debut, but they showed it in 2005. But it was alright. That's officially made his debut in Gen 3, but they waited till Gen 4 2 years later introduced Lucario. So we'll get to that in a moment. Magmotor will be interesting too, but it showed it in Platinum. Well, it showed up later on, but in Platinum was probably a better way to get him. So I use Infernape instead. I had Torterra in Platinum. But yeah, I think every kid had Diamond and Pearl, and it was just insane. Yeah. So yeah, it was. It was probably the most we were all anticipated at that day. I had like copies of the Pokédex too, and it was awesome. It was an awesome time. You probably were there, and then you think you moved to the other school too. I think that's what it was. I think because we were all pumped up for Diamond and Pearl, and it was a disappointment because the Pokédex was horrible, and Fire types are horrible Gen 4. Because you only had a choice to pick either Chimchar or Ponyta. Those are the only two, and it was so terrible. I hated that day. But yeah, I made the right choice picking Chimchar first. I saw Chimchar. I had Morpher, which goes a fighting type within Infernape. So yeah, it was painful. It was painful as a kid. Seeing Diamond and Pearl. It was so cool. It's cool seeing seeing Pokemon games on a DS. It was so nice to see that debut. But yeah, this is the debut of how DS games were pretty much been the GOAT. Whereas Platinum is still one of the best games on the DS right now. To this day, it's still one of the best popular games on the DS library. Because the story they told was beautiful too. Alright, for Water types, I picked I was thinking Gastrodon. I had a choice, but I'm like I went with my gut and went with Floatzel. I know I was thinking honestly Gastrodon is a water ground type because honestly Floatzel is more cooler. Plus you get Buizel, which they also introduced in Gen 3, but it was like, oh yeah, we'll wait till Gen 4 because they also introduced Chatot. Bonsly was also introduced too earlier, but it was like a promo, I guess. So yeah, it was Buizel, Lucario, Bonsly. They was introduced early until later on in generation. That's what they had. I think they had the figures of those bunches, but they made Buizel later on in Diamond and Pearl originally. So that's kind of cool. A little trivia for you. So yeah, Lucario came out around 2005 because it was like the movie they showed had Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, which is the Pokemon movie version. So that was introduced it. I also had Piplup was my choice as well, but I'm like, nah. I'll probably go with Floatzel because Matt likes Buizel, and shout out to Matt because he's my boss. He's a big Buizel fan, so he's a Buizel Floatzel fan. I had a choice either Roserade, or possibly Leafeon, which is one of the newer evolutions they had in Gen 4, and they had Glaceon, which I also included both of them. So of course, obviously that's the bigger choice. Because I had Jade and Kabuki, or Cole. I actually had Cole in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So I made the right choices here. I also had Pachirisu, which I mentioned the story about Isol, which of course I was like, you know what? I just want to see if you guys can agree with these statements here, these top choices here. Wannabe Empoleon. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Empoleon would be a good choice, but I picked Floatzel instead because I chose it was pretty fast. Empoleon is probably the better starter, but you also got Infernape, who's got quicker, has got better at physical attacks. The thing about Empoleon, he's very slow. Torterra can outspeed fucking Empoleon. I know it's crazy to say, but Torterra can outspeed Empoleon. He's probably the more slower, but Turtwig, it also got Turtwig as well. You got Torterra as well. Yeah, honestly, for the starters, yeah, Empoleon's a good choice for people who want to choose like Piplup. It's fun. I don't mind seeing Empoleon on the list too, but I'm going with Floatzel for me. Floatzel is just so much fun to have. It was one of my very first Pokemon I actually caught too. Besides Starly, or had Staraptor. Everybody has Staraptor because this is probably the first flying type with close combat, which is a fighting move, which is pretty nice. All right, I want to say Torterra too. Maybe I'll pick it as ground type maybe, but I chose Garchomp in that section too. I'll probably put like maybe Garchomp and Angel Dragon types actually. So I'll probably switch it up and see how it goes. But I'll probably maybe put like Ground for Torterra. Alright. Then we also for Ice I picked Glaceon of course. Those are two I picked. Electric I had either Isol or Pachirisu, which the Isol story I mentioned. Because I know she liked Pachirisu a lot, so. But I was like, I have to go with Luxray because it's just another cool looking mon. There's just that hairdo is nice. Luxray is it's probably the more popular mon than Pachirisu is. So this gen is my childhood. This is the gen I remember the most. Yeah, it certainly was. That explains why the whole with the Pachirisu story and Lucario, because this is what Lucario Lucario basically debut. So yeah, it was like honestly, Platinum was probably the better one for you. Platinum I recommend too. Like it's probably the better version Diamond and Pearl because what's better about this is Platinum's Pokédex is way better than Diamond and Pearl's Pokédex. What kind of Pokédex only includes 2 fire types? Yeah, only Ponyta and Chimchar exist. So and also you also get Rapidash, but you only get 5 fire types in total. Platinum only has like 20, which is a good number still. Like a roster only had like two fire types. That's fucked up. You might also have no fire types at all at this point. Just use a flying type. You can still win without fire types. Honestly, it can happen. But now you have Platinum. It's like it's our savior. So it works. It really does work out well. So I'm gonna go with the Pachirisu since I use Isol. That story I have to go. I'm gonna go Pachirisu over Luxray. Sorry, Luxray fans, but you gotta go with the Isol gimmick or Ninjarisu. This is my childhood, and I'm gonna show him the most. After this, I watched Touch for Pokemon. Really? Oh wow. So you were interested in Heart Gold Soul Silver then? You was like it says like 2010 entered. I was like, no, fuck this. What this? But no, I can understand. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I kind of like lost touch with Pokemon as well too at some point, but I'm like, because ever since I think Sun and Moon came out, I was like, what is this? And then Ash, I remember watching the anime. Ash was just like, okay, I gave up on the anime when Ash lost to Pokemon. It was in like the championship round. He almost won. I also placed a bet with Matt. I lost like $20 that day. I also put me like $20. It was because I was like, it was Ash and Alon in the finals, and Alon fucking won the Kalos League in Gen 6. It was like, damn it. And it was so close, man, and I was so disappointed. But then Gen 7 happened, and Sun and Moon happened, and Ash actually won the Pokemon League. I don't mean to spoil, but Ash actually won the Pokemon League, and it was fucking awesome. And I was like, how did I miss this? I honestly regret doing that. I lost my touch that day. And then I got Ultra Moon, so I mentioned that story as well. So, all right, fighting. All right, now so we've already did ice types. I had Frostless on the mind, but I had to go with Glaceon for the extra lore because I had Cole, which is my Glaceon. All right, I had a choice either Gallade or Lucario, but yeah. It's because I had either Steel or Fighting, so I just want to let lead up to any. I think honestly we could probably add both of them, but I want to choose one. I'll probably go with Gallade. Yeah, honestly, yeah. The spoilers probably work for you if you're not in touch with Pokemon. You probably just watch the spoilers. Yeah, yeah. So spoilers everywhere. When he finally won, yeah, and I believe he won like recently. The recent cup too, when all the champions competed in once. So yeah, I'm sure you caught up on that. So yeah, well, it's nice to see he finally won that league. All right, we'll save. Actually, we can save Gallade for later because he's like so it's Gardevoir's brother, I guess, at this point, or the male version of a Gardevoir. Just pure fighting. So of course we're gonna go with Lucario. Of course. Dirty-old man in a 12-year-old's body. Oh, man. Yeah. Pretty much at this point. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be. You probably Ash Ketchum, the biggest man child of the anime. That well, it's probably debatable. Actually, it will be the biggest man child of Pokemon of the anime. Hmm, that's actually debatable. Actually, Rose Raid. Yeah, I put Rose Raid for poison, so I definitely won't put that. I'm actually gonna switch it up and change my opinion. Actually, I was thinking at the last second. I had Mamoswine, Gliscor. I could probably go with Gastrodon, like I said. I already used Garchomp as an example, but I'm gonna say Garchomp for Dragon type, so I'm gonna go Torterra just for the ground type because he can definitely go with it just in ground type. So maybe for Steel we'll put Empoleon maybe, but flying types. All right, now for flying, I went with Togekiss because that's what mostly he had with in the first place. I had Staraptor earlier on. I was like Staraptor was a good choice. And then you got Honchkrow, which is so nice to have Honchkrow in there in Gen 4. So, of course, I had Darkrai, Vespiquen for bug types. I had Yanmega. I was like, maybe I'll save Yanmega for later. But, I'm going to go with my gut and just say Togekiss because it also introduces Fairy. But Togekiss is fart flying type, so it's like a big old Zeppelin. When this is Togepi's final evolution, little egg that we always get in the games. Of course, Togepi pops, but this is also turns out Togepi is supposed to be a Togekiss. So sweet. Alright. And now for Psyche types, Cresselia would be a good choice, but I'm gonna go with Gallade, or Gallade. People say Gallade or Gallade. I just say Gallade. Sounds a lot better. It's my water bottle, by the way. Very thirsty. Alright, we already have Vespiquen on the board. Alright, then we have Rhyperior for rock. No problem. I have Bonsly. Like I said, Bonsly is also introduced in Gen 3, but also it went to Gen 4 at that point. So we'll say that. I added Rhyperior because it's basically Rhydon's third evolution. And Rhyperior is pretty fun. It's just a very tanky, sturdy mon. Very slow and steady, but of course he does win the race. And if you guys remember... Oh yeah, you know what? I need to change this actually. I had Dusknoir in the mind, but I was like, oh, Miss Magius. Of course, my littlest bitch. That's why I named my Miss Magius in Pearl, and of course in Shining Pearl. My LMB, my MVP. Little Miss Bitch! So, of course, I was like, you know what? I gotta change this ghost type because I was like, I can go with Dusknoir because it's the third evolution of Dusclops. So they also included like all the generation Pokemon from their evolutions. They kind of buffed it up. Like Gardevoir has like a brother now. Togepi can evolve into a Zeppelin now. Mischievous has an evolution because of Mischievous actually this is Mischievous's evolution now in BDSP or Diamond and Pearl Platinum of BDSP, but it Miss Magius. Then of course you have Giratina, which is obviously the biggest choice is Giratina from any form. Rotom is a ghost type too. It's either like Spiritomb I don't really see as much, but I want to use Spiritomb now at this point because I'm like I need to just see for myself really at this point. But yeah, we'll probably have a chance to go crazy on the spot here. Dusknoir, pretty tanky mon. I just finally have one of my friend's Dusknoir that I have finally so. So finally, all he gave me was Dusclops. He never evolved it. I was like, God damn it, Nat, what are you doing? But because he didn't know he had anybody to trade with at the time, so he gave me the Dusclops, and now I can make Matt proud and have the Dusknoir of my own. All right, but that's pretty much what I did. I'm gonna switch over to Miss Magius. And the dragon was Garchomp, of course. Blaze would have been fucking here, but he's still not here. I gave a message earlier. Yeah, I gave a message. He hasn't responded yet. Still, he's still asleep. So, great. Great. For Dark, I had Honchkrow or Weavile. I'm sure a lot of people remember Weavile too. I just want to figure Weavile. I think I lost him before. I think it was another one introduced in Gen 3, but it was switched to Gen 4 at the last, like they guess in the promo section. It was Drapion, Spirit Tomb, the Ghost Dark. I went with Darkrai. That's probably the better choice, honestly. If Darkrai is probably the better lot of the bunch. So I went with Garchomp for Dragon. The old man is sleeping. I mean that Blaze. I mean Blaze is actually. I'm actually older than Blaze. Actually, I'm only a year older than him. I'm the elder Blaze. I should be asleep right now, but I'm not. I pretty much gotten tricked into doing this, but okay. All right, Steel. I'm not gonna use Lucario. I have it. I'll probably put Empoleon on here too if I wanted. There's Dialga. Dialga would be nice too. Yeah, he's in his, I'm sure Blaze is in his coffin right now. Oh, God. Of course, Foxy and Axel. Probably the only two right now in the chat so far. Yeah, I think so. Alright. Oh, that's right. One more name is part Steel. That's right. This is the Trash Cloak. For Steel, I'd love to go with Empoleon. A lot of people don't really use Justice on its side, and that's Bastiodon. And remember, I believe Cranios you can get in Diamond, and in Pearl you can get Bastiodon. So I remember getting like Pearl and Shining Pearl. I have Diamond as well. Yeah, I think I agree. We're all tired, pretty much, in our own sake. I'll be tired too. See, I'm yelling right now. I'm just talking about it. I'm going with Bastard on my end. For Star, I chose Chimchar because that was my first star, so that's obviously debatable. So I went with Garchomp, went with Darkrai. Probably the more popular mon back then. He was really popular. He was so cool looking too. That's another thing. Alright, the gimmick forms, we don't have to worry about this right now. These are the gimmick forms. Of course, they also had Mega Lucario too. They did. Yes, they actually did. I'm also a big fan of a Bomb the Snow. Because the ice hits were pretty getting counter instantly. Alright, my favorite legendary. Yeah. It's God itself. Alright, now we'll see who becomes our MVP of Gen 4. So it's Lopunny, Infernape, Floatzel, Leafeon, Pachirisu, Glaceon, Lucario, Roserade, Torterra, Togekiss, Gallade, Vespiquen, Rhyperior, LMB, or aka Mischievous, Garchomp, Darkrai, Bastiodon, Chimchar as a starter, of course, or possibly God itself, Arceus. After I have to go through Arceus's bullshit from that Let's Play I did for Pokemon Arceus, which I'll probably leave a links of all the Pokemon Let's Plays I've done. I did Arceus, by the way, too. It was a pain. In fact, I did also the PLA as well. So that's another thing to include on this. Is also Pokemon Legends Arceus, which you guys remember that series I did for this Let's Play. It was really excruciating. So now we get to our biggest choice for Gen 4. Do I want to go with God? Do I want to go with the MVP? That really helped me out in BDSP and really became like my became everyone else's bane of existence, because Vespiquen I can go with. She's pretty tanky. Lucario is probably a fan favorite. Everybody loves Lucario. Lopunny for the waifu standards of Gen 4. Do I go with my Hot Shot? Do I go with my Infernape? But then again, I also made insults to Infernape fans too, because they were like, "Oh yeah, Infernape's Blaziken is also pretty squishy." Truthfully, yes, Blaziken is pretty squishy. That's my guy. But this is your man's, everybody. This is your man's, huh? For Generation 4, huh? I also made insults to Infernape too, but Do I go with Matt's favorite? Do I go with Grass? Actually, this is Mitchell's favorite. Okay, Grass's favorite. Leafeon's favorite. Or go with Easel's choice. Or do I go with Axel's choice with Lucario? I honestly, I can honestly all the bullshit I had to go through in that, like I said, about for Arceus. If I want to go with God itself, I could, but at the same time, remember all the bullshit I had to go through it in Pokemon Legends Arceus. It was the worst pain. So, don't want to go. Really be reminded how much I hate that game. Oh man, I honestly hated Arceus. Like hated like Pokemon Legends Arceus though. It was definitely interesting, but it was a good effort. They really pulled it. It was like, well, I like the mechanics they put in the game. You know, you have to go. It's basically when they went back in time, when they went back into the older days. So it's kind of cool seeing the ancestors of the mons that we loved, you know, back then. And the Pokeballs were pretty cool too. They're ancient Pokeballs they use in like previous times. So at this point, and also had the Alphas, which also introduces the Alphas, like the gigantic Pokemon too they include in the game. So what do I go from here? It's kind of a tough choice. I mean, I can go with God itself. I really could go with that. I don't want to go with Infernape because Infernape sucks. Mach-Punch is nice on an Infernape, but it's nice. But it's a priority move. It's a fast move you can get. It's nice. It's a tough choice. Painful choice here. I mean, yeah, I agree with a hard choice like this. But I'm going to go with the one I really enjoyed the most in Gen 4. Lucario, I'm sorry, buddy. But Miss Magius was better. Sorry, Lucario fans. Sorry. I'm a Miss Magius fan. Mystical Fire, you got Shadow Ball, you got maybe Nasty Plot is such a good move in Gen 4. It's I recommend Nasty Plot on a Miss Magius. Trust me, it's fucking disgusting. And plus 2 attack. You got Shadow Ball, which is special. You got Mystical Fire. Yeah, a Ghost Throwing Fire type attacks. What more can you ask for? I think LMB deserves that role. It's my top. That's my top. That's what made me love Miss Magius even more in Gen 4. # bars. All right. So yeah, sorry Lucario. It was close. Lucario was my third choice. Let's go back a bit. I'll probably give the runner-ups too. By the way, I will give Lucario second place though. He definitely was, and then Lopunny was my third choice of the bunch. And for Gen 3, I give Deoxys second. Actually no, Deoxys third, and then Aggron second. Gen 2. Let's just recap the other team members I have in the team. I give Typhlosion first place spot. I give Umbreon second best. Donphan second best, and then Umbreon third. Sorry, Politoed. I had to get you. And Gen 1 was my most original ones I remember from memory based. I give Blastoise my favorite. Sorry, Charizard. Sorry. But I'll probably give Charizard third. I rank him third overall on my list. And then Mewtwo be second. Alakazam was close too. He was like fourth or fifth. But yeah, he was close. There you go. There is your Gen 5. Remember, there's no fairy types yet. So I'm not going to include that just yet. Let's see what's in the fairy type section too. Oh, it's only Mime Jr. and Togekiss, by the way. They were... yeah. This is gimmick forms too. Alright. It's black and white. It's black 2 and white 2. Yes, Pokemon Black and White. So after pretty much some fans left for Gen 4, we move on to Unova, which is my second favorite region actually in the bunch. I love Gen 5. I also made a comic series a long time ago. Actually, you can probably watch it on my DeviantArt somewhere. It was customized, but I had some ideas in Black and White 2 comic. Now it hits a Generation 5. It's Black and White 2. I also had I was representing I had the man called Sting. But yes. I will go rest Mewtwo is pretty awesome. Yeah, Mewtwo was definitely is a good throwback for sure. So definitely Mewtwo. I'm tired. Gonna fall asleep. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I guess. Damn. Is my class boring? Huh? Is my class that boring to you? Huh? Damn. Sleeping in class. Everyone else is falling asleep pretty much here. God damn. The dog's sleeping. Oh, the dog's also sleeping too, by the way. Which it's my sister's dog, Bruce. It's a big black dog. Yeah, even Bruce is like falling asleep in class. Yeah, everyone else is like, yeah, pretty much everyone else is gonna be just. Everyone's using like sing. It's I blame Jigglypuff's song, making people fall asleep. Damn it, that's fine. You go rest, Fox. You have a good. Thank you for dropping by. You have a good night though. You definitely have a wonderful night. All right. You're not boring. Well, thank you. At least my class is entertaining. Evil teacher. Yeah, totally not boring, but I'm evil. Okay. Yeah, sure. Totally not. Yeah, I'm. Thanks for that. Just for probably get well. Don't let me give you, I'll have to give you detention. I'll have to give you homework. So there you go. I'll give you detention. It's either this or homework. Take your pick. But no, you have a good night though. I do appreciate your time being here. So hopefully you're more enthused, or probably more lewd. Surprised you weren't lewd at all. Maybe. No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing no spankings allowed. Nope. All right. Yeah. I don't see you're probably into detention now. All right, you're into detention. It's fine. Detention for you. Yeah, I think I'll tell what you'd rather be detention right now. But yeah, you have a good night. I appreciate it. Well, I'm probably going to continue the rest of this list here. There's still a little bit more left, and I'll probably just maybe do like the favorite. God. I'll probably go on a speed round for this one. Alright, let's actually go with the fire one first. So this will get out of the way. But yes, and yeah, you take care. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Alright. We have a lot of fire types in. We'll start with fire first. We'll probably go to normal in a minute. Let's go with some fire to start off here. Generation 5 include. This is for Black and White 2. There was rumors saying that it will be a Generation 5 remake on the Switch, but I'm like, I don't know about that. We just had another copy of Gen 9. I don't know if it's gonna be. This is me and you. Yeah, facts. Me and you, man. Just like the old days. All right. Now that Fox is gone, now with the women gone, we can focus on the guy stuff. Dude Central now. Dude Central. All right. Let's get to the list. If we can also try and wrap up here. So this is after. I'm sure you probably don't know anything about Gen 5. Kind of, sort, maybe, but so this is Black and White 2. Let's see all sort of stars here. There's a whole bunch of lists here and all the other stuff here too that featured. All right, let's go with fire first. Okay, so we got Panseer, we got Victini, Tepig, Embor, Tepig, Pignite, Embor, Panseer, Pansage, Panseer. Or Simiseer. Wait, no. What? Panseer, Simiseer, Darmaka, Darmanitan as a Zen mode, Litwick, Lampent, Chandelure, Heatmore, La Vesta, and then Volcarona, which is a really pretty design. I actually like Volcarona. And then Reshiram, which is the white legendary. That's what's called, on Black and White. But I believe in Pokemon Black, you can get Reshiram, but in Pokemon White, you can get Zekrom, which is the black Pokemon. Yes. So, mostly, which one did I get the most? I believe mainly was going to be I believe I got White first, then Black, but I got Black too. I actually got both games. I remember getting both. Black 2 and White 2. I gave my brother the White 2 and he lost it. Wasted my $35 on that one. Okay. But yeah, Black 2 on my end. But actually, the hit boxes were nice though. Like the HP boxes were so better. All the stats, whatever. It was very nice. So let's see what I get for fire types. I will go with my gut. I love Chandelure, but Darmanitan was so much fun. Already a tough choice to see fire types, especially a lot. They also made a lot of good fire types in Gen 5. So I love the Ghost Fire type advantage. I'm gonna go Chandelure. I honestly Chandelure. So yeah, pretty much you can get a lot of good stuff in Gen 5. Interesting. I kind of want to lay out Gen 4 and up. Yeah, if you want to, Platinum's probably the best choice for you. And plus, especially when you play like a bigger Pokédex, just play Black 2 and White 2. They probably especially get Black and White for the story. But this part, you also want to honestly just play both. If you want to play Black and White, play the first one first for the storyline, and then play Black 2 and White 2 for just for the larger Pokédex. Really, if you want to get more experience. The trainers in the game are actually a lot better in the first one. And then the first Black and White. Let's go normal types. There's a lot of normal types here. This is a list for normal types here. They also picked up as well. So we got Patrat. We got I also call it Patrat, but I was like Patrat. Watchhog. Lillipup. Herdier, and then Stoutland. If you look at that moustache, it's such a pretty moustache. P-Dove, Tranquil, and you got Unfezant. Unfezant, this one, there's different genders, by the way. Unfezant, this one's the male version of Unfezant. If you think of this the female, no, this is the male with the mask. The male with the pink ribbon mask. I never understood it. But I'd rather have the female version first. I'd rather have the female Unfezant. And Audino, it's not that bright. It might be one of the worst mons Gen 5, but it can be pretty. I'll never get a shiny version of it. But you know what? This is Minchino, Chinchino. The Deerlings, depending on what season you begin the game, it'll probably they change from what season you have. So say if you're playing in the summertime, I believe this will be summer. I think this will be summer, spring. No, this is spring, summer, autumn, and then winter. These are mostly like the dealings you can get. Same with the Sawsbuck family. Winter, I believe that's autumn, spring, and then I believe summer. Out of all the four, so both dealing are both normal grass type. Bouffalant, which is the Tauros of the bunch. And you have Rufflet, you got Braviary, Meloetta. It also have different forms of Meloetta. That's a different story for a different time. Plus it's normal type, I believe. So out of all the normal types, I'm going to go with the Unfezant. Or Audino. Stoutland's actually a fun mon with the Retaliate. It does double damage every time Pokemon faints. But I remember having a shiny Audino. But it was in a different generation game, or the next gen. But I'll definitely have it as a tribute to a shiny. I had Audrey, which is my shiny Audino. So I'm going to go on now. It's the worst mon. It's the worst mon in the game. But I got it as a shiny. But I'm like, okay. But I'll take it though. Honestly, Audrey could be really helpful. You can teach a few moves and stuff to make. She's mostly going to be a healer. Which mostly is a healer version. But she sucks at the game. She sucks at Gen 5. But the only problem is, the good thing is she can heal like Pokemon that are like in danger or whatever status conditions on your team. So say you have like a mon that's like poisoned or burned or paralyzed or asleep, they can cure that while you're trying to switch out whatever. So they can do that during the party. So it's just nice. It's a good automatic healer on your team. It's the worst part is it's really shitty. Its moveset is shitty. They'll probably upgrade the one. They'll probably upgrade Audino in Gen 9 or whatever. They can just have a chance to give her new healing moves to like Life Dew and so there's one move I remember too, but you could heal your partner, which is interesting enough. Now, I did start off with for this one. I didn't start Tepig right off the bat. I had to wait till later on. I was like, I didn't like Tepig's moveset. Now, because there's Tepig, Snivy, and Oshawott. So on the water side of things, I did start with Oshawott. So you're damn right with Samurott. I actually went. I was thinking like, you went fire types? No, I did not. Actually, I went with grass and water. Cause I didn't like Emboar. Emboar was kind of like a thick version of Blaziken, like a beefy version, but a pig. I was like, no, I'm not really a big Tepig kind of fan. I wasn't really Emboar-esque, but I'd rather have Samurott or someone with speed. Snivy is probably the more difficult because Snivy's the grasses are probably the worst starters out of all of them. And I remember playing Black 2 with Oshawott. It was a lot better for me. Playing like Oshawott. So, and you also got Snivy. This is a loaded stat. This might be the stat grass types I've ever seen in Gen 5. This might be, honestly, in Pokemon in general. Never ever seen any, all grass types. Just crazy grass types in this gen. The dealing span was just crazy. The Sawsbutt was just mostly just one month, but it had different seasons. Now this one might be the toughest one. I think we'll probably get back to grass types here. We'll get to grass types in a minute. I'll skip the one for now. I have to think about that later. That might be the toughest one out of all the typings here so far. Alright, electric types. This includes Dynamo. Electros is really fun. Levitate, because Electros has no moveset or has like no weakness at all. It doesn't, because remember it has Levitate, which also can counter ground type attacks. So it'll be less vulnerable. So it's pretty damn crazy. There's also got Thundurus. This is Zebstrika, Blitzel, Emolga. I think people are gonna like Emolga a lot better. Joltik, Galvantula, Thundurus, its other form. Zekrom, here it is. This might be one of the coolest mods I've seen in black and white. Zekrom's probably the more honorable choice. Don't count out Electros though. Really fun mod, especially if you can evolve from Dynamo. It evolves a little bit later on in the game, but I actually like Galvantula too. The cool little Ellis spider, which you haven't seen a spider since Ariados, which has been a while. So nice to see its new generation having a new spider or new tarantula in there. Emolga's one of the more adorable, and then Zebstrika is pretty fierce and pretty powerful. One of Elise's favorites too. Pretty good choice. All right, I'm gonna go with Zekrom. Yeah, Zekrom's probably the better choice in my opinion. I really like Zekrom, especially I played White and I got Zekrom for my team. And the N, which is you're probably gonna meet N, which of course if you remember, N was probably everyone's like fangirl's dream. He's like a dreamboat in that game. N is probably the more mysterious. He's like the king, previous king, but he was probably the main villain, but he also became a good guy later on. He helped you out really. So, but N is like every fangirl's dream. He's probably the more popular. He takes on the Ferris wheel. He's a very strange dude. No one of all these fangirls love him. So he's probably gonna be like he's definitely the bad boy of Gen 5. So to become a king. It's interesting. It's a fascinating story it's very fascinating. If you do play Black and White 2, like I said, with the story of Black and White, N is probably the more mysterious and wants to liberate all Pokemon, and that's what created Team Plasma in the first place. So, yeah, Zekrom's probably the coolest one and on the bunch, so yeah, I definitely see it's probably the Electric type in this one. Alright, remember I said about Kyurem versus Rayquaza? Yeah. Also, it's different versions too, by the way, depending on which version you have of Black and White too. Kyurem's probably the more story-based, but I love, this is also Vanillite, Vanillish, Vanillux, Cubchoo, Beartic, Cryogonal, which is the most confusing Pokemon. It's basically just a version of Glalie. Kyurem or Kyurem, and yeah, these are Kyurem forms, Kyurem Reshiram, and then Kyurem Zekrom. But yeah, Kieran's probably the more menacing, but I love the designs of the like the ice cream, and have also Cubchoo is cute, but only one problem. He has like a big ass fucking like booger on its nose. I was name him Booger. It has like fucking boogers on its nose, and he doesn't need to wipe his damn nose. It's disgusting. That's what throws me off a bit. Makes me a little uncomfortable. Yeah, Black one looks bad. Zekrom, yeah, he is badass. I love Zekrom. Definitely a big choice for my spot for MVP. He is probably be a candidate right now. I also am a big fan of the fire types in the game. Maybe Darmanitan and Chandelure. Like I said, Chandelure is so much fun. I love Chandelure. Black one looks badass. Yeah, I actually kind of like the. Yeah, they have ice cream as Pokemon. Yes, they do. They do. And they have a polar bear too. So yeah, they have polar bear. They got a polar bear as well. I'm gonna go. I love the ice cream gimmick they picked up. So yeah, because they also got double cone. You go to ice cream. Well, like go to the ice cream truck, you see like the double cone. So I love that idea. That's probably the best one they did. Cryogonal, I hate this one. I don't know what the hell this Pokemon's all about. But Kyurem, I'm gonna go with Kyurem. I love the idea with the Vanillux, like how you get deluxe ice cream. So, yeah. But I'm gonna go with the obvious choice. I can counter Rayquaza, which Rayquaza would be very scared shitless. So I'm going with Kyurem. That's my favorite dragon. It also this is the one I was talking about. It is a dragon ice type. They show that which you can counter Rayquaza, which I would be scared if I was Rayquaza. I'd be scared shitless. But Kyurem is pretty damn slow. It's a big boy. Alright. You ready for some fighting types here for Gen 5? Alright. We can go to Pignite, Emboar, Conkeldurr. This is Conkeldurr. It goes from Timber, Girder, and then Conkeldurr. Which is interesting enough. That's actually a cool, interesting chance. I was like, you also need to trade. Scraggy! I love Scraggy. And then you also got Mean Fu and Mean Xiao. Pretty good choices. And then these are the three like legendaries you can get in the game. Kabali, they're like the very watered down version of Gold Silver's Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. Cobalion, Terrakion, and then Virizion are the three choices. And you got Keldeo, which is also a water fighting type. You also got a fighting Meloetta we saw earlier. So I'll pick a grass type later. I haven't decided which grass type I want to choose from. It's kind of a tough choice. Alright. And he also got Scraggy and Scrafty. So I also just Sock and Throw. Throw, the red one, and Sock, the blue one. They're also version exclusive. So if you played, I believe you played Black or Black 2, you get Throw. Oh no, you get Sock, excuse me. You get Sock if you play Black or Black 2, you get Sock. And if you get White, you play a White version and White version 2, you get Throw. They're both exclusive mons, is one of the versions you can get in the game. So I remember getting Throw in White, but I remember it was like it would be interesting if you get fighting type. They're both karate, and because you get also this judo and this is karate. That's the only difference you can see. That's kind of cool about that. One has just karate chops, one can just do like circle throws and judo. So it's pretty nice. I love that concept idea, having like both karate mons in here. Both are gis. Alright, but I'm going Mian Xiao actually. I love Scrafty was so much fun. I remember using Scrafty in Black 2. He was probably one of my. I always name him Hoodie. He's literally wearing a hood or a hoodie. So I had Hoodie in my team. But I love Mian Xiao because of his grace and it's supposed to part fighting type. So I'm gonna go with Mian Xiao for. I know I'm gonna go with I love Scrafty too, but I love the graceful and just to how quick, how underrated Mian Xiao can be. It's pretty damn lethal. So it's like high jump kick. It has some good punches and drain punch is nice. Maybe wide guard, little detect action. So pretty damn nice. I love the sound of having like Mian Xiao on the team. Okay, Poison types wasn't really great in Gen. Was mostly. I'd rather have Scolipede. It was definitely more faster than. Oh yeah, I'll show you the. I'll name the others: Venipede, Whirlipede, Scolipede, Trubbish, Garbodor, and then they also made some mushroom Pokemon within Fungus and Amoonguss. Amoonguss is also a really good mon for like competitive battles. It's been used everywhere else. For me, I hope they bring back Scolipede. It was so nice to have that this 8 foot centipede, but it's also fast. It's really damn fast. So this is Venipede's final evolution, and I remember Annabelle. Yeah, Annabelle was my Scolipede. I remember having her in both games actually. She was definitely my favorite one of my favorites that I kind of enjoyed. So that's actually like quick and fast, but it's big and fast at the same time. Um, yeah, they made they made garbage Pokemon too. Yeah, they literally made trash Pokemon too, literal trash. Yeah, Fungus and Amoonguss, or just Among Us. Yeah, it's close to Among Us, but they call it Amoonguss, so it's close. All right, Poison's done. Ground types now. We're gonna go deep into the. We're going Gara territory this time. Actually, I named Crocodile Gara at that point, so we're going with ground types here. Cue the giant sand burial gimmick, or cue that card. No, this is we have a Drillburt, Excadrill, Palpitoad, Seismitoad, which is nice. I kind of like that little. I think I had Seismitoad on the team before, but I had Samurott before. I had Krokorok, Sandile, Funmon, I love it, and a Crocodile. It's such a big old crocodile. I named him Gara, by the way. He was definitely the Gara of the bunch. So this Gara just had like sunglasses, whatever. It looks like he has sunglasses, but he doesn't. He has really small pupils. Stunfisk is mostly a ground electric type. And then Golurk, and then Golett and Golurk, which is a Pseudomon, but his shiny is really pretty. I actually like the shiny version. And this is Landorus, and his sky form and his land form. So let's see. Landorus is one of the legendaries, by the way, too. So yeah, I had Excadrill in the mind. This part steel and ground. And Golett and Golurk are both ghost and ground, which is pretty nice. We haven't seen a ghost ground type yet. So Levitating probably wouldn't be able to hit it. Its only thing is it's just like it looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh character. You can see like Golurk and Golett. That both be you can see them as Yu-Gi-Oh characters, whatever. But are monsters really. I'm gonna go Crocodile for memory for that I named him Gara because he was just more slick and slimy. So kind of shady. All right, there are a lot of flying types here, and for just Gen 5. Now I saved Unfezant for later. It's one of his normal types, so I'm gonna go with the latter. I like Mandibuzz. This is Woobat. Archeops was one of the fossil Pokemon, and Archen, Archeops. Sigilip is one of the ugliest Pokemon I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Sigilip is one of the weirdest ones I've seen. Ducklet, you get Swanna, Emolga. We already saw those these two already. This is Vullaby, like a vulture. You know, Mandibuzz, which I always enjoy Mandibuzz. We'll save Mandibuzz and maybe Vullaby for later. She's also Mandibuzz is part Dark type too. Dark and flying. So it's like it's basically Honchkrow, a female Honchkrow. They're all I believe they're all female. It's probably the only female mod you can get. Mandibuzz is mostly just. I think it is the only female mod you can get. Next Unpheasant, the female version. This is Tornadus. It's sky form and of course it's land form. This is the only difference we saw. This is Tornadus. So he's one of the flying type. Using wind, thunder, and in the ground. So using earth or whatever. BRB, no problem. Take your time. Take your time. Oh boy. Yeah, where else? Where is everybody else? Everybody else is actually. I'll probably just listen down anyway, because. I'll probably save these ones for later anyway. I'll probably make the list and just copy and paste it because I don't have much time anyway. I'll probably wait till about 30 minutes. So we're not gonna have time for this is a whole big list to just do really. Oh man. We'll just do a round while we're at it. So I'm mostly by myself here. All right, we're gonna go with Unpheasant for the flying types. Just gonna go fast around here. Psychic types also introduced here in the game. There's also Victini, Muna, Musharna. Suba is also part flying as well. I saved my pheasant for last. I used for pheasant. Elgium, and I believe Beheim. You've also got Gothita, Riunculus, and go with Musharna. Also got Gothitelle. Looks like Wednesday Addams, but much a Pokemon version of Wednesday Addams. I'm going Musharna for its tankiness defensively. Alright. Genesect, we have first picked up here. There's also Genesect. We saw. Oh, let me actually go to the grass types here. Actually, I made my choice on grass types, by the way. It's kind of a tough choice, but I'm gonna go with Lilligant. I remember having white version. I had Lilligant first, so I'm gonna go with Lilligant for sure. That's my choice for the time being. Now for bug types, so I'm gonna go with Leavanny because I was like I can just go with so probably have my choice here anyway. I had Gigalith, but I never really used it much for like rock types are concerned. It was probably the only choice I had because I couldn't get Caracosta. I didn't know about Caracosta back then, so I didn't know better. I'm gonna go Gigalith because that's probably the choice I had. It's like Roggenrola, Boldor, and Gigalith. So he was pretty slow, but he definitely helped out. Alright, and then Frillish, Jellicent. I already have Chandelure already on my list for fire type, so for Ghost. I'm going to go with this Yamask and this Cofagrigus. I'm going to go Cofagrigus for Ghost. I should probably mention about Reshiram and Zekrom. They're both dragon types too. We have Axew, Fracture, Haxorus, Druddigan, Dino, Zweilius, and Hydreigon. Hydreigon for sure. Saris, of course, Phoenix. That was Phoenix's Hydreigon he gave me, so Saris it is. Now we get to Dark type. This might be another tough one here. And our last would be Steel. Into our legendaries. That's probably the biggest one we need. Alright, Purloin Liepard sucked hardcore in Gen 5. They're probably the weakest Dark types in the game. Bisharp was really cool though. And also, there's Poniard and Bisharp. They're really fun. They evolve. And there's Zoro and Zoroark, but for Foxy's favorite, because she loves Zoroark and Zoro, the illusion Pokemon. They'd probably be a fan favorite, of course. I remember Zane, which was the Zora. Yeah, I'm going with Mandibuzz. Alright. Then for steel types, I didn't use Excavalier. I always want to use one. I'm going to go with Cabalion for steel. That's for steel fighting. Fairy. Oh yeah, that's right. Whimsicott becomes a fairy type later on Gen 6. We'll get to Gen 6 and we'll have the debut of fairy types. We go pick our fairy types. Alright, I'm gonna go with Oshawott. I had actually when I first played, I had Snivy on the list, but I was like Superior will be a pain, but will be fun to play. So I originally had Snivy at first because I had played White and I remember playing Snivy for the first time. It wasn't the brightest idea I've done, but hey. And also they didn't bring Universe starters in there. No Gen 5 Pokemon, unfortunately. So that sucks. Only few of them are still in, like Crocodile and Hydreigon, Cofagrigus. No Leavanny, which is kind of weird. Alright, Legendaries now for Gen 5. I'm gonna still say with Zekrom for me. It was still one of my fond members I picked was Zekrom. And if down for the choice of Gen 5. Let's see. I'm also gonna make this quick round because we are gonna run out of time. We'll probably stop at Gen 6, and then we can call it quits today because we could probably do part 2 to this because this might be a long fucking video, a long 4-hour stream with like barely anybody else here. And just me by myself. And plus I need to go eat anyway, because I'm feeling a little lightheaded from just talking so much. Yeah, I'm going to go with Zach. I'm going with Zekrom. There wasn't much MVP in my team. So as I remember in my team, I had Lilligant. I actually had Lucario, actually. Lucario was in my team as well. Because he was in the sequel. But he's not here, so... I also had a shiny Otter now, but that was Gen 6, so that doesn't count. I'm going to go with Zekrom for the time being. He was definitely the more badass looking Mon, so yeah, he wins for sure. That's all I make win for Gen 5. Alright. We'll do Gen 6 and then we'll call it quits here because we are going to run out of time, so next 20 minutes, so because there's really not much time anyway because there's nobody here. And I don't think anybody cares about this podcast right now. I wish there'd be a lot of people, but there's nobody here. I could have done this on Twitch anyway, but I'm like, nah, it's fine. We'll come back on Tuesday for the anniversary anyway, because we do have a Twitch anniversary coming, so I just want to get prepared for it. All right, let's do this. Generation 6. This is X and Y on the 3DS. So then now we hit the 3DS territory. We say goodbye to the original DS, move on to the Generation 6 on 3DS. This is Pokemon's 3DS debut. And now also here's the thing. We are going to include on... Wait, what the fuck? Oh yeah, that's what they have in those versions. We're also going to include fairy types in Gen 6, because remember that's the debut of Gen 6. And also include the gimmick forms, which is our mega forms. So, alright. Also, they had Mega Honor now too. This is also for Oras as well. I'm not gonna include the Megas just yet. Wait till that later. So, all right, this one is for Generation 6. Now, if I want to choose, I actually like Fletchling now. Also have Pyroar, and then here comes the both Pyroar family, the male and the female one. Furfur was the one I probably would be able to pick. You got Helioptile and you got Heliolisk. We'll wait till later. But there's Fletchling. So this is Generation 6 now. Let's see. Pretty much Furfur I want. I'm gonna go with the Furfur that I chose. There's not much Volunteers in Gen 6 as much, but I remember the shiny version I got later in the next game, so the shiny version was indeed just a black dog, so Fur was my shiny. When I also moved on to Gen 7. So now, yeah, I'll probably choose the mega versions later on. I did start up with Fennekin, of course. So I definitely I'm gonna obviously go with the Delphox for fire. So I went back to fire types again. Of course, I did. For X, I had Delphox. I had so you have full scale Fennekin, the starter. So Chespin. This looks like Chespin sucks ass. So, and then we have water types here. Now I had to probably choose Greninja as well because that's what so I can't use. Well, obviously I already have Froakie on the mind, but yeah, I did somewhat with Froakie in Y. So that's why I had the team. I did Let's Play for X and Y. Alright. I'll go with I'll go with Gourgeist, which is Pumpkaboo. Let me explain the word. This is Binnacle, Barbarical, Skrelp, and they have Dragalge, who's got Poison Water, and he's got Poison Dragon, Clauncher, Clawitzer, and then Volcanion. These are the mega forms too. They also picked up here, also the different ones. I love this sprite too. Alright. Then you got Cosplay Pikachu. Dedenne was also introduced. Heliolisk, Helioptile. I'm not gonna put the Pikachu cosplay in there. They also have Lucha Pikachu, which also that's a really good thing too. I'm gonna put the Dedenne on there. Down and now. Either Aurora or Armora, and then he also got Aurorus. So Aurorus, I had that in on my team with Team Delphox on my side. And you get Hawlucha, Pancham, and Pangoro. Yeah, I'm gonna give Hawlucha. Well, that's a Wild Heart. Poison. There's no poison at all. Just all in the mega forms too. Dragalge is probably the one I would choose. It's my favorite of the bunch. I get Zygarde in there. Sorry, Diggersby, but yeah. And plus, there's also Vivian, which is there's so many. For the flying types, there's Talonflame. I had a chance to use Noivern a lot, but I never had a chance to use it in Gen 6. It's just that little Y Pokemon. X with Xerneas. Sorry, Alright. I'm gonna go Talonflame. Better choice to be Talonflame, so let's save the best for last. Alright. Latios. There's Delphox again. There's Hoopa, Meowstic. Go with Hoopa. Yeah. Skilled Psychic type. There wasn't much. There's also Vivian, so yeah, I'm gonna go Vivian, of course. For like Bud types. So there wasn't much at all for Gen 6. There's a lot of repeats. Alright, and he also got Binnacle for like Rock, Tyrantrum, or Tyrantrum. There's Diancie. I'm going to go with Diancie. This is Rock and Fairy. And for ghost types, it's only of course I'm gonna go with Aegislash, Blade Form, and King Shield. Yes, Aegislash. Goodra for Dragon. Hell yeah. You got it. Goodra for Dragon. And for this is Dark type, so either there's also Greninja's part of Water Dark type. Probably Greninja's probably the more popular one too. There's also Mega Absol. So either gonna be I'm gonna go with Yveltal for Dark type because this is a Dark Flying type. I only have Klefki. There's also this part Steel Fairy. Klefki is interesting in that. I don't know. Klefki is just very interesting to me. I shouldn't put Age of those Hoopas. Oh, Psychic Ghost type. I forgot. You know what? I'm gonna go Trevenant. Now put Aegislash in Steel. Yeah. And now, our first fairy type they introduced. There's a lot of fairy types. So they also include the most recent evolution with Sylveon. Last, they also have Slurpuff, Swirlix, Spritzy, Aromatisse, Florges, Flabebe, Floette. So, of course, we had to go, and also have Xerneas, which is the X Pokemon. The one, the Y one definitely is Yveltal or Yveltal, that's weird. Let's go with Sylveon, of course. So that's definitely the most popular fairy type in the game. High special attack, good special defense. Maxine was part of it too. So that's like a female. I found a female evil. So I can just make this Maxine and my Sylveon. So there we go. Just adorable. And I believe, yes, it was in Fennekin. We went back to fire types again. And for our first time ever, we have the gimmick form. So we have a lot of mons gimmick forms. Which one was definitely the more better? Now, because they also introduced Charizard and just Dragon type. I believe Autumn became a fairy type, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I love Deancey's like mega form too. It's really beautiful. Lopunny becomes a fighting type, which is a lot of fighting moves. Gardevoir's probably the more pretty because she has a wedding dress. These are all looking really cool for these are mega forms. So I'm gonna go my guy, Mega Blaziken, of course. And for legendary, this is for also includes Oras as well. This is like Hoopa's form. Then you got Zygarde's form as well, Xerneas, and then you got Volcanion. It's probably this one. No, it's probably the one that everyone likes to use. I'm gonna use Volcanion. That's my legendary. Oh, actually, I have Primarily. I should grind on. Never mind. So I have Primarily to grind on. And now, with the biggest choice of all, I had Popsicle on my team. Because Crobat actually became the MVP of Gen 6, which surprisingly didn't work. But it will be my second best. I also had Raichu on my team, by the way, too. I had Raichu. No Dedenne, but I had Raichu. But yeah, I'm going to go with Sylveon for me, because definitely Lana was definitely more helpful. My Maxine or Lana were more helpful, so. But yeah, I'm going to call it here. That'll be it for now. We'll probably continue the rest of this part. I'm just going to save it real quick. Okay. Yeah, we'll call it here because I'm getting tired anyway. I'm exhausted. Alright, we'll probably do the rest of this next time, whatever. To keep backups. I'll probably just like take a picture of this and come back to this. I'll just reset anyway. It doesn't really matter to me. But it's a fun little list I can think of too. I'll leave a link in the chat so you guys can have fun. Can so you guys want to do this too? I'll leave a link here so you guys can go ahead and go check it out for yourselves. If you guys want to check it out, of course, I'll leave a link in the chat below. So you guys want to go check it out and watch it. You could. But in the meantime, I'm gonna call it here and I'm gonna call it a night because I am done. I'm done for the night. I can't take it anymore. But yeah, this might take a while. We're getting close. We'll probably do the second part. Maybe for next Sunday. We'll probably wrap up the rest of the stuff here. For Gen 7 through 9. So I'll definitely include something else here for sure. We'll do a part. We'll definitely do the second part of this next time because we are running out of time. We have Gen 7 coming up. We have Sun and Moon. The team I use pretty much. I'll probably reveal the team I had in Gen 7. Nothing much changed. As I had different other members of my team. Well, also I might change later on when I do Let's Plays in the future for this. So be fun. Alright, we'll have part 2 to this on next Sunday. We'll come back in this and we'll just do the rest. This is a very long stream because it took just ages to do and I really don't know what to say. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. AzureBlaziken signing out. And sorry if this stream kind of ends a little bit further because I'm tired and I don't think anybody's here right now. Unfortunately, go check out the link in the chat below, or link in the chat. If you want to do it yourselves, you can. I'll leave it over here too. Follow Discord server, follow our promos box in the description down below. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button. You guys want to see more content like this in the future. And yeah, we'll do more of this. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. So we'll definitely can do more for part 2. Let us know if you want to see a part 2 in the comments below. And yeah, let me know your favorite Pokemon, of course, in the comment section below, too. Let me know your favorite Pokemon from each generation, from all the way from Gen 1 up to Gen 9. Let me know. Give me your list. Give me your top 9 lists. Give me your top 9 in the comment section below. I'm AzureBlaziken. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. And you can follow me on all my socials and stuff. Also, you guys check out the merch store if you want to check out some merch. Get yourself a merch store. There should be a link in the promos box below, too. And yeah. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and hope you guys had a good weekend. We'll be back here on Monday. We'll probably do some more gaming stuff. Really, we'll have an 8 Region Raw stream taking place tomorrow. For the next probably maybe around the stream. If not, we'll play stay for the finale. Maybe that's maybe on my part. All right, we'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. Peace.